What a doozy Voku, we're here with another live stream. I know it's been so long, guys, but we're here with another live stream. And today we're going to be discussing the stuff a lot of people don't want to hear. That Mason Mount is a bang average footballer. And is Potter the right man for Chelsea? We're going to go in depth about that. We're going to look at his comments he said about the previous game against Brighton, which lost 4-1. And we're going to discuss, is Potter the right man for Chelsea? Will he take Chelsea to extreme levels after his recent comments? So we're going to be discussing that as well. If you're watching the debate, make sure to smash the like button, guys. But let's get the intro going so we can get into today's stream. Let's go.
We fucking got him.
And we're here, guys, with another live stream today. Hope everyone's doing well, guys. We're going to open the lines in about 30 minutes as well. We're going to be opening the lines to discuss Mason Mount and Declan Rice. That's what we're going to be opening. So if you guys have a different opinion, Mason Mount, Declan Rice, we'll open that up. But we're going to be here for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, because it might get, prolonged. But yeah, guys, so I want to get into today's streams, get right into it. I mean, we just lost 4-1 to Brighton, right? Brighton, people say they play great football, and I said they play great football, but they're not a top team. And I wasn't really that shocked. Honestly, I wasn't really that shocked because for me, Graham Potter coming in didn't change anything. I mean, that's why I was really, really upset when Tuchel got sacked. I was upset that Tuchel got sacked because one, Tuchel's a great manager, but I also got upset because I knew this nothing would have changed. I said it's like fixing a wound that needs stitching with a band-aid. Yeah, it might be healed for an hour or two, but at the end of the day, it needs stitching. And we're not stitching any wounds. Right? We got the same players. That's the problem. It's these players. The manager, I said I'm gonna back Graham Potter for a long, long time. But he's not the problem. It's these players. So Graham Potter coming in, right? And he's coming in, he's saying a lot of these quotes, which he says, I know the quality of the team we were playing against in the atmosphere. I never saw it like that in 3.5 years. I was there. There was a motivated team and a club that is okay. And for me, I was surprised by the comments he said. Following up that the team you saw out there for Brighton wasn't the team that was there 3 years ago. There is a process of pain that you have to go through, and you have to keep trying to improve. I think he's insinuating that he wants us to wait 3 years for a Chelsea process. But let's get into the chats before I deep dive in this quote, guys. We got Prime, we got the Prime. Let's go, Cook. Man, big up to you, mate. We got San. Big up Asama, man. What's good, bro? Big up to you, man. Big up to you. But I want to discuss just quickly the last couple of games of Chelsea. Actually, let me get sorry before I go to the comment. I forgot to do this before I went to. I forgot to go to this part. I want to discuss first. I want to look at Chelsea's recent games first. I want to look at our games because yeah, we got some great wins. But did anyone watch the games? Like, did anyone really watch it? No one. See, no one wants to listen when we're winning. It's only when we're losing. It's like coming out with these statements. That's why I've said after the Brighton loss, nothing's changed for me. It's the same things I've been saying. It's when we're winning 3-0, 4-0, Mason Mount scored a tap in, right? People were all cheering and oh my god, everyone bet. I said, no, it's no, don't get your hopes up because it's gonna end soon, right? Look at this Villa game. Aston Villa, 2-0, right? Kepa saved us from 14 goals that game. 14 goals, right? Mason Mount scored 2 goals off mistakes. And I said to everyone, I said, don't get gassed. It's Mason Mount scoring off 2 mistakes, right? They were horror mistakes. No one listened to me. Come Brentford, shocker game. Kepa saved us once again, right? So players are individually saving us. Man United, we were so lucky to even get a draw. Honestly, I went on the football capital and I said that we were lucky. I think the other way around. They were lucky because everyone was shocked in that game. Salzburg. It was Salzburg. They're an Austrian team, right? They're fucking horrendous. They're rubbish. Brighton 4-1. All those games we played were shockers, right? They were shockers. Can I look at the ones more? Yeah, here. Palace. Yeah, what can we say? Great game. Milan was all right. Wolves was probably one of our best games. One of our best games. Milan, guys, Milan, they're a great team, Milan, but they're Serie A. We know that we know there's a difference. But Wolves was we had a very good game, Wolves. But these games here were shockers. They were shockers. To answer your question to the title, yes, he is. Potter needs time to adapt with the team. He's very adapted with the goalkeeper situation. And I said, I wanted to jump off the bat quickly because I wanted to jump off and say, I back Potter. I'm not Potter out, right? Before everyone tries to make this clickbaity, tweets like, oh, let's Potter out. No, I'm far from Potter out. But I'm going to question his future, right? Graham Potter, as I said, guys, I'm going to repeat myself. Graham Potter came in. He's not a better manager than Tuchel, but he's a great manager. However, he's not going to change the problems we have at this football club. Now, I hope he's the man that takes the action that is needed, but these actions, apparently to the fans, will never happen. One being selling that rat, Mason Mount. We sell that bang average footballer. That's when shit happens. Because guys, since 2017, I have not been less connected to a football team ever since 2017. Right? I individually like players, but I don't like this team. I really dislike this team, guys. I really dislike these players. They're not good players. And as a squad, we're not a good team. These transfers coming in are an exception to the rule. I'm talking about these players we've had for 3-4 years already. Since Frank Lampard. Since Sarri. Oh no, everyone's gone from Conte. Since Sarri. Right? And it's the same players still here. And the same players from Frank Lampard are still here. And they're still, half of them still rubbish. Like from Sarri, I look at Sarri. We got Kovacic. That's a good player. We got Jorginho, had a great spell, right? I look at Frank Lampard, Havertz, Ziyech, Mount, fucking rubbish. Reece James, fantastic player, So there's some good, there's some bad. But at the end of the day, we've had the same players have been playing in the team for 3-4 years, right? They've been playing 2 games a week. They've been playing with the same attack since Frank Lampard, right? And it hasn't gelled together. But we want to blame the managers for this. Because people said it was Tuchel's fault for the attacking. I said, it wasn't Tuchel's fault. These attackers were just genuinely horrible. And I said, Potter coming in won't fix this. I wanted him to fix it, but you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Right? They're fucking. We'll smoke Chelsea next week. I said I was on HOS for just 5 minutes today because I jump off. But I quickly said, watch us beat Arsenal. We'll beat Arsenal. Trust me. This is the thing with Chelsea. We'll beat Arsenal. I'm not even. If we lose to Arsenal, I will be shocked. I think we have a higher chance of beating Arsenal than we will to beat Brighton. I think Arsenal, we have a very high chance of winning. Honestly speaking, we have a high chance of winning against Arsenal. Now, I don't think it will be. I think either Arsenal batter us 3-0, or we have a close 1-0 to us, maybe 2-1 here and there. But we got to make sure Kepa's back for it. Are we playing Zagreb during the week? Are we even playing? I swear I was telling someone that we played Zagreb, but I don't think we do. Oh, we do. We play him Thursday. I'm not gonna want. 7 a.m. Might as well. I didn't. That's why I didn't put in the title. I'm not even phased for that game. I don't care. Play fucking Mendy. Play everyone else. Play these rubbish players so we can get ready for Arsenal. But it will be. He needs more time for the rest of the players, and that's what the thing. Like, we're at the start right now, yeah, and this stream is for predicting is Potter the right man for the upcoming changes he's gonna make. So we hope so. You park bus back 8th. Intekia scored again. Bro, it's now you never play attacking football with Tiki Taka. Chelsea are a defensive club. We're a defensive club in the last 3-4 years because we play, yes, obviously we play 3-4-3, yes. But we have rubbish attackers, like, well, you're right, we are quite a defensive team, And Potter tried to change it and didn't really work. I think the lineup he put up the other day against Brighton was horrendous. I've again, it's like, people want to complain that Tuchel did it, and we thought Potter was going to change that. He didn't change it. All right, how did Loftus-Cheek get a 6.6? The guy scored a fucking own goal. Chalobah got a 4.4, but they got a 6.6. Makes no sense. But Pulisic and Sterling are not wing backs. I'm sick of this, man. Like, I thought Potter would change this, but he's still doing this. Like, play Chilwell there. I don't know, man. It's just we're gonna get smoked against Arsenal. Worst attack in the. We generally have one of the worst. Like, look, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Gallagher. That is one of the worst compared to Trossard, March, Mitoma, Lalana. Mate, this attack is fucking horrendous. It's horrendous. People don't. I said this last season. I said people don't underestimate how bad, or sorry, people don't understand how bad our attack is. It's genuinely horrible. Havertz is rubbish. Gallagher too inconsistent. Mount, bang average footballer. Like, Mount could be a great superstar for Chelsea, but he's never going to be the next Frank Lampard. He's never going to be the next big star where we put a statue outside. This guy's going to be the new English Willian, right? The guy's garbage. Right? He's a bang average footballer, and I'm sick of these fans coming and just defending him. But I don't want to get into it too much. I want to wait. I want to wait. Sell them all, but yeah, build the Kismet. I didn't say big up to big up, mate. Sell them all. Our players are made of class. Always injuries. That city. Honestly, what's wrong with that? Like, Kepa's now injured. Fucking, like, from what? Like, what did he get injured from? I don't know how. I don't know how Kepa's injured. From what? Fuck, I'm so pissed at that. And then Koulibaly's been out for nearly a month. Fofana's gonna be out for 3 months. Then fucking what's his name? Reece James is gonna be out for the rest of the year. It's like our best players are now injured. The only player saving us this season, Kepa Arrizabalaga, is injured. And a second one, Reece James, is injured. So our 2 saviors this season are injured. Thiago Silva next. And we can't even play Thiago Silva every week because the guy's 39. Like, guys, I'm telling you guys, we are in a shambles. We're in such a bad spell. Loftus-Cheek is playing in our midfield in 2022. That's how you know we're in shambles. Cucurella's having a dodgy season, man. Dodgy. Bro, Chelsea squad is better than our, but we still... No, you guys have way better squad, and we said this at the start of the window. Look at Arsenal's lineup. We have... Let me look at the table. Let me look at the table. Let me go here. Where's it? Premier League table. Where the fuck is it? Look, Tottenham come back and do well. No, I want to see it there. Let's look at this. Arsenal. Let's look at Arsenal's team. All right. 5-0 against Nottingham Forest. Jesus. Better than anyone in our attack. Martinelli. I don't really rate Martinelli, honestly, so I'm not going to really say. Saka. Better than Mount. Better than Havertz. Odegaard. Better than Mount. Better than Havertz. Right? Maybe Martinelli is the only questionable one for me. You know? But he's scoring goals. So he's doing better than Mount and Havertz, and he's 21. I mean, it's 5 goals and 2 assists. This guy is better. Sorry for disrespecting you, Martinelli. You are better than Mount and Havertz because they don't even have that combined. Fucking embarrassing. Let's go next team. I'm not going to look at Cities because their attack's better than every single one of our players. Tottenham. Against Bournemouth, where they came back. Let's see who it was. Kane, better than anyone. Son, better than everyone. Oh, attack. Who's their one that normally sits behind them? Who's their... who do they normally have? They have that... Yeah, Richarlison. I honestly said Mount and Havertz were better than him, but... Actually, no, Richarlison's quite rubbish. Kulusevski, probably maybe on the same level as Mount. Next team, Newcastle. I'm going through all of these guys because people don't want to look at it. These attackers are better. Wilson, he's scoring goals. How many goals has he scored? 6. Oh God, who's dreaming of that? Joel Linton. This guy was about to get his head chopped off a couple of years ago because he's rubbish. Now this guy's playing in a Newcastle team. Almiron. He's balling out this season. Like, look at Aston Villa. Bailly, Ings, Buenda, Watkins. Those are players. They are. Like, Ings has scored more goals than Havertz, Mounts probably combined ever. Right. Watkins had that great season 1920. Buenda, great at Norwich. Bailly was fantastic at Leverkusen, he's kind of shittier. But it's just, look at these attack guys. Look at even Villas. They have a lot better players than us. Our players are genuinely horrible. Really think about it, guys. Really think about this season. Really think about the games Havertz and Mount have played this season, even last season, and think about it. Is Havertz better than Danny Ings? I say no. I say Havertz scored a UCL goal, but Danny Ings can put the back of the net consistently in the Premier League. Not this season, but he's done it for Southampton 3-4 years in a row. He was nearly the top goal scorer like 2 seasons ago. Do people not remember that? So this guy's like, he's even scored 3 goals. Like, I think that's more than Havertz. Like he's doing horrible, but he's still scoring goals. Like, look at that, 75 games, 38 goals, right? Like people just people just don't know how shit our attack is. Sterling's the only good one, and he's out of form, and he's even the right guy for it. Like he's already 30. Like, oh my god, we up to Opal, we're in shambles. We defensively, and again, we go back to our most strong suit defensively. Injuries. Fofana. I said it. Fofana. The only thing with his price tag was his injury, and he gets injured in 10 games. Like, Koulibaly's now getting injured. It's like, fucking hell, man. It's just. Jesus will turn to prime R9. Probably. Everyone will turn to prime R9 when they verse Chelsea. Kulu? Who's Kulu? Kulu. Oh, Kuleveski. I think, yeah, probably the same level. Like, it's like nothing, not a big difference. Thiago Silva has been running around since our new coach came on. Perhaps a different tactics. He's too old as a centre back. I mean, what tactics? Like, for me, it's like we can't really do anything. Like, I'm sorry if Thiago Silva was sitting right next to me. I go, mate, I'm sorry. Like, we can't do anything. Like, you have to play. And this was our problem when we started this season. We go, what's gonna happen when maybe we have one injury, and what's gonna happen because we sold fucking Colwell, which I said I didn't really want Colwell to stay, but I said we should keep him or Sarr. One of them should stay, so we can all go or sell both of them and get Kunde. Like we needed that one extra centre back, but we decided to go for it. We decided to go Zakaria, who's not even playing in this pitch. We decided to, I don't know. Zaha, Trossard. Zaha is better. No one wants to say it. No one wants to listen to me when I say bring in Zaha. He's better than Pulisic. He's better than Havertz. No, honestly, guys, Havertz is on the same level right now as like. Let's go all the way down. Let's go to Leicester City. Probably like Daka, like from Leicester City. That's the level Havertz is on, guys. Like, it's making me choke, coughing now. This is the problem as well. Like, why isn't Zakaria getting on this pitch? Like, we're in a midfield crisis, but we're not signing Zakaria. Havertz plays like a butterfly. Havertz is a precious butterfly. He's horrendous. He's rubbish. Like, I'm done with that guy. I'm done. There's no more chances. People say give him time. I go, what are we? What are we doing? Waiting in line to buy a book? We'll give him time. What time? We're not a fucking library where we have to wait in line. This is Chelsea Football Club, right? If you're not good enough, you fucking leave. Hudson-Odoi, Werner, I give praise to them because they knew they weren't good enough, so they left, right? He's 23, right? We should have been seeing something, but we're not seeing anything. People go, oh, but give him time. I just looked at Martinelli's, right? Martinelli's 21, and he's scored 6, 7 goals already. Guys, do you want to remember, last season, we were first, right, on the table before the injury. We were first around this time. We were first on the table. And Mount and Havertz were still playing bad. But it goes out of Chelsea's head. Like, we were going to win the league if Chilwell didn't get injured. We could have had a high chance of winning the league, right? But Chilwell got injured. Chilwell was a very important player for us, and our attack couldn't do anything because Reece James, Chilwell was scoring all our goals. Mason Mount had one, and Kai Havertz maybe had one, but like they just understand. Like, look at Martinelli, look at Arsenal. They're first, and the youngsters. Nelson came on the pitch and he scored 2 goals and got an assist. When has Havertz even got a hat trick ever? Has he ever got a hat trick? And I hear, oh, but he's not a number 9, he's a 10. Well, we don't play with 10s. Sorry, we don't play with the cam. Cams. This is not 1995. We don't play with cams anymore. Sorry. So if you don't fit the system, you don't fit the position you want, then sorry, you don't fit the jersey. Go to a different club. I'm sick of giving leeway to these guys. Oh, but he's not a 9. Well, if he's not a 9, don't play. Don't play at this club. Go to another club. Like we don't play with 9s. You're not gonna work at where the manager's gonna put you. Fine, leave. Like it just baffles me how much leeway we give to these players. Oh, but he's had 15 shockers because he's a 9. But is he? Oh, sorry, he's had 15 shockers because he's a cam. But mate, we're never gonna play with a cam. So when will he turn up? He's proper. Big up to No Name for you. Sterling isn't being played in the proper position using that man. Yeah, honestly, him and Pulisic, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. That's why I'm not really worried about Sterling because I know Sterling can do something. He's done it. He scored. He was what 16, 17, if I don't remember. I think he was the second top goal scorer in the league. I know he can score goals. He's proven it. Right? He's 30. He has the experience. I know he can score goals. I don't know Mason Mount can be consistent for 10 games. He's never done it before. I don't know Havertz can score more than 2 goals in a game. He's never done it before. So like it's just these things. I know Sterling is a great player, right? Because he's had the experience in the same league that we're playing in. So I'm not really worried about him. I'm just worried about how we use him. That's what I'm worried about. Because you're right, playing him as left wing back is not great. Depend our entire way of the team works. Exactly, he's the class. Exactly. That's not how you run a football club. You can't run a football club on 3 players: Kepa Arrizabalaga, Thiago Silva, Reece James. They were the only 3 players keeping us in this league right now. The rest, I mean, shocking. Like we can't. We need a proper attack. Exactly. People need to wake up. I've been saying this for months. People need to waking up, guys. And that's why I'm really, really trying to wake people up now because Mason Mount, guys, Mason Mount fans are absolutely deluded. They're absolutely deluded. Like there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. I went on the football terrace and I said that there's double standards with Mason Mount. And I'm going to describe this when Prime comes on later. I'm gonna discuss this. But the main thing for me is when I got off that stream, I got 2-3 DMs. Oh, you're not proper Charles. Don't come to the bridge. Oh, you're a disgrace to this country. It's like, what? And that's the double standards. You talk bad about Mason Mount, they're gonna a mob's gonna come at you, right? So that's why no one discusses him. And if you're at the bridge and you don't clap for Mason Mount, oh, you're not proper Charles, mate. Get out. So it's double standards. Like it's embarrassing, man. Maybe I'll be up to Barbas. Maybe on Wednesday that Zakaria plays class. Yeah, oh true. Maybe we can finally see Zakaria for Zagreb. Anything for us, Zakaria doesn't play against Zagreb. It's definitely. If he doesn't play Zagreb, I'm sorry, but there has to be something like Potter used to say. Definitely say something to the public. But no journalist asks, "Hey, where's Zakaria?" No, they go, "Oh, how's Mason Mount's hair today? Has he done his daily TikTok?" Like fucking hell, these journalists are the worst fucking comments, man. Like answer a fucking proper question. Go ask him, "Where's Zakaria?" Because go ask how's Kepa's injury because the guy saving us. There's no injury. There's no injury update. Oh, but how's Mason Mount's hair? Has he got a haircut yet? How's James Charles' makeup? Has he put it on today? Like, fuck, we don't care. Ask us questions. Zakaria, where is he? Ask him that, man. Fucking hell. Cucurella for me, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, he's came from the manager who we used to play with. He's came in. I always thought he could play left centre back. Apparently, he can't. I got that wrong. I thought at Brighton he did absolutely fantastic left centre back. He won the Brighton Player of the Year, but apparently he's not working the system. I'm not sure. Don't know why. I thought he could have done it. I really thought he could have done, but no, he's a left wing back. I think the first 3-4 games he did well, but I think these last 5 games he had that I think tonsillitis or something. I don't know, but for me that's not an excuse. Like he's just in a bad patch, and same with Chuba. They're both in bad patches, so. I don't know who to play. I mean, let's hope Cucurella can bounce back from this. Mate, Arsenal, City, Newcastle. I have no hope this weekend. Need Koulibaly send back, not Cucurella. Yeah, I think that's the main thing now to get Cucurella, also Koulibaly back, to put Cucurella back in the left wing spot. Yeah, I really thought he could do it. Sterling is 27, still in prime. Like, yeah, we can maybe see the best out of him if we could pop him in his right position. Last season, our problems developed when Kimi was like common contact injuries. We brought in RS as a replacement. We were then getting exposed. We Max got injured, assisting him defensively. And with RLC, I said last year, this guy's rubbish. I said he's shocking. And Terry had a fantastic point where he said, like, you watch him and he's all great skills. He's got a great physique. He can dribble. He can pass 2 meters. But when it comes down to like making a great through ball or putting a header in or putting a good cross in, the guy can't fucking do it. Like he can't do it to save his life. He's just down the pitch for vibes. We're down 3-0 and I see him walking. Like Brighton have turned over the play and he's walking back. But no one picks it up because he's proper Charles. He's Cobham. He's proper Charles. Man isn't taken seriously. So inconsistent. Man cares more about his TikTok career than he does with Chelsea, man. The guy just cares about himself. He doesn't give a shit about this club. Nor does Havertz. Havertz and man don't give two shits about this club. Same with Ziyech, and that's why Ziyech is leaving. Like, same with Pulisic. Like, none of these, that's what I'm saying. It's that we change our attack, we improve. That's just the thing. We get rid of Havertz, Mount, Pulisic, Ziyech. We bring in Zaha, we bring in Liao, we bring in Osimhen and Kuku, right? Mate, that's a proper attack, right? That's an attack that teams who want to play for this club because James Jones, Kai Havertz has taken advantage of his opportunity, right? He needs to be humble. He's taken same as Mason Mount and like they don't realize they're playing for Chelsea Football Club that we signed them big money and they just fucking stink up this pitch. Oh, he scores one goal and he goes shh, like fuck it, it's embarrassing, man. Like how many goals has he scored? Three goals. Look at that. That's embarrassing. Fucking hell. I'll be real. I don't really obviously with someone of his physique how he has to got no page to run. He's big for nothing, always on his ass. It doesn't look like he wants to be there either. That's another play. It doesn't look like he wants to be there either. This guy has not had a prime since he got injured under Sarri. He's just it pisses me off. Like Josh, if Josh is watching this, big up to my boy Josh. But I don't know how you back this guy because he's. Yes, I understand it. He's he's a favorite. He's been here for a long time, but he's not good. He stinks up this pitch. He doesn't put effort into it. He's walking. He's fixing his hair mid game. I'm RLC. No one's gonna take over me. Like we got players, and I know people are gonna come at me with this excuse, but Kepa Arrizabalaga, this guy's fought night and day to get back to his spot. Like, look how much he's improved, right? He's improved so much from what he was under Fat Frank. But no, that's not. Oh no, he got his spot because Mendy got injured, but the guy still turned up to training. He still was, as the reports say, was still very happy. He was still putting a lot of effort in training. Where if we compare to Loftus-Cheek or Havertz, who just rock up, probably yawning, going out partying before they come to the training. Salman and Havertz get Madison and Tillemans. Like, I wish it was that easy. But let's go back to the quotes, guys. We got off topic a bit, and I want to wait for Prime to get in because I'm gonna have a very big discussion about just this fan base and about how they just talk about fucking Basmati and all these guys. But on Potter, guys, there is a process of pain you have to go through, and you have to keep trying to improve. Right? 3 years, guys. 3 years, Brighton improved. Are we willing to be patient to give up seasons like give up Champions League football for a season or two, just so the gaffer can have time? Are you guys willing to do that? Because for me, I don't know. I'm not gonna. We're in a league where we need to consistently play Champions League football to get to attend revenue and to obviously, be big on the market, right? Like, look at Arsenal as an example. Their biggest signing was Gabriel Jesus, right? Who, recently just signed for them. Obviously, because the name Arsenal is a big name, big football club, I guess. But they didn't really sign anyone that big. Like Gabriel, wasn't that big. Like Ramsdale coming from fucking Sheffield or Bournemouth. Like, they weren't really big signings, right? Tomiyasu, not the biggest. Like, they weren't really anything big. If as Chelsea, we like to spend big, we like to look lavish. We need to consistently look good, right? We need to continue to come third and play Champions League football. I'm not really willing to, drop a season. I would have maybe done it last season where we had a manager who had a year with his players. He knew he had a plan. He had it all planned out, but then we just dropped the ball. Now we're going to go start ground zero. Since 2017, we've been saying right off season, give him time, right? We signed Tuchel in 2020. We didn't give him his players, but he developed a great squad, right? Tuchel won us the UCL. Not these players, Tuchel won us the UCL, right? So I thought, great, he's got his players. Let's give it, he has a plan. Let's give it to him. But no, we sack him. I was upset, but I go, all right, Graham Potter comes in, right? So we take a step back now, right? We're taking a step back. So now we're going to wait another 2 years to get to the same point that we were at 6 months ago. That's the thing for me. That's the realistic truth. We got to wait 2 more years to be at the same point that we were 6 months ago. Can't say Koulibaly, Reece, Fofana. Without these 4 players completely fit, we're not the same team when Tuchel wanted more centre backs. Everyone was saying he was terrible. Now look at all these defenders injured. Yeah, terrorism football, blah blah blah. What do they call them? Tuchel ban, Tuchel ban. It's the same. Like guys, Potter came in. Yes, we play faster football, but if you take if I woke up from a coma, right, a 5 month coma, and I go, oh, and I look at the lineup on Brighton, I go, oh, Tuchel's still. I'll go, oh yeah, Tuchel's still here. Because it's the same players in the same position. Like we're still playing players out of position. Like it's the same football. It's the same thing. We're just playing faster football. And Potter's obviously going to listen to the board when Tuchel and Potter's not going to be honest, right? Because when Tuchel's honest and Tuchel says these players are not good enough, you get sacked immediately, right? That's what I said. When you speak up and you speak up about players that the board really like players like Mickey Mount, right? You get sacked. That's the punishment. For this waffle pot to talk about UCL football, how we're gonna get in Kuku here, Liao, or any good players must we are Chelsea. Yeah, exactly. This ain't Brighton. Like I said, this ain't Brighton. He has to wake up, mate. This ain't Brighton, right? We're not gonna have a one-off season now. We finish 14th. We'll go again next. No, like, our goal is to win the Premier League. I know Brighton's goal maybe to get, obviously everyone's goal is to win the Premier League, but realistically, Brighton players wake up on a Monday. They go, all right, we're playing Leicester. We're gonna aim for maybe European Conference League. If we win the league, fucking beautiful, but that's not our aim. We know our aim, but it's like if the plane's crashing, the pilot knows the plane is crashing, but the pilot's gonna say to its crew and its fans in this point, everything's gonna be all right. But you got to think realistically and go, yeah, what? Brighton's not gonna win the league, and that's what I'm saying. Potter needs to realize this is Chelsea, mate. We need to win the league constantly because we're a big club. Like it's not like, oh, the fans are, well, but what do they say? Like we're fucking greedy. It's not like we're greedy. It's like this is what we've been brought up on. This is the club. Like this is who we support. Guarantee you, if Tuchel was still here, we wouldn't be talking about top 4 because we have confidence in him. Went from 4 to 3 next season. Now look at I don't even. Yeah, honestly, I can't believe we're in the situation where we're actually debating whether we finish top 4. And I'm gonna say yes because I don't want to. I can't come to the realization of saying no. I can't. I really can't. And the question was at the start of the season is do we continue Potter if we finish 4th? And I say, actually, sorry. Let me force. I want to say this one more time. I'm gonna say this one more time so everyone can hear you guys. The question was that do we give Potter time if we don't finish top 4? And I say absolutely. But you know who I'm not going to give time? Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, all these bums in our team because they're the real problem. This isn't a managerial problem. It's these players. They're genuinely arse. You put Gallagher in the Brighton team. You think he made... Where's Gilmore? Doesn't even make the Brighton team. Colwell. I mean, Colwell couldn't play against us, but he's still not even making the Brighton team. Guys, like, you guys just hype up these players too much. Right? We sent Gallagher to Crystal Palace. Right? Crystal Palace have these great new balls down. Does he even make the squad? You put Mount in a West Ham team. Does he even make it there? Ben Ram is not even playing there. And Ben Ram is a baller player. So think of it realistically. I will blame the players if we don't. I'm not going to blame the manager because I said it's Tuchel's a better manager than Potter, but Potter's still a great manager. Potter will take us far if he gets rid of these players. If he gets rid of these players that the fans just lie about. Oh, Mason Mount had a great game today. Mason Mount wasn't even on the pitch. Like it's honestly just horrendous. Play Aubameyang and Brozier against Arsenal. Brozier's, and yes, I mean, again, Brozier's another one. Like, yeah, I'll start Brozier by habits any day. But does Brozier even give anything? Like, where like Brozier's a player for me that we shouldn't be relying on Brozier. I can't believe it's come down that we need to rely on Brozier. And like Omari Hudson should need to start because our players are that bad. But I didn't want to come down to this, but we are. Be up Daniel Nye, be up to you, my man. We aren't making top four. Imagine we win the UCL, but we finish outside top. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, we win the Europa League, or we win the league one season, the next season we're fucking 11th. Like, oh. I hope Kai Havertz leaves next summer. I'd be leaves this summer. I hope he leaves in January. Honestly, I'll take Ben Rama. Like, wait, let me pull up the West Ham. I want to pull up the West Ham one because West Ham have a great team. Aston Villa and West Ham, I think for me, have great teams. I think it's just they got a managerial problem. They're the ones with the real managerial problems. We're the ones who have a player problem. We're the ones who have players, people like James Charles, who should be on OnlyFans rather than on this pitch. Right? Like, let's be serious. Scamacca, baller in the Serie A. I don't think he's really got into it this season though. 2 goals, he's been shit. Never mind. Bowen, he's quite good. Ben Rama, I think he just hasn't been used as much because they've got what's his name? Oh, bro, I would take this guy any day of the week. Oh, I would take him any day of the week. Mate, the vibes we will have at this club, I'll take him just for the vibes, honestly. This is a player we should be having for vibes, you know? But he's a baller. Packwit, oh man, this guy's a good player. Really is a good player, but unfortunately he's got injured. He's been injured for a while. Fuck. But Brighton, West Ham have look, they got, I mean, Lanzini's rubbish. But they've got some really good players on this field. Take away this scum. But they've got really good players. Who's this guy? I don't know. You know, Ben Rama, Bowen, like Skamaka. Look at United. Rashford's back in form. And like his ass, Ronaldo. And they come on with Sancho. Like, you know, they've got some decent players as well. Like again, here's the thing. Like, I'm not saying maybe Bowen's better than Mount. But what I'm saying is that West Ham fans don't prop Bowen like they do as Mason Mount. That's the thing. Let's take Bowen. Maybe he's on the same level as Mason Mount. Right? Now let's look who gets propped more. You know, Mason Mount or Bowen. West Ham will sell Bowen if the right price comes for it. But Chelsea will never sell Mason Mount. Even though they're both bang average players. Big up to the Out of Time Foot Podcast. Big up to my man. It says we can still turn it around after this transfer window. Might be a scrappy top 4 finish. Injuries come at the worst time, especially James. 3 of the key defenders injured. Chua not 100% fit. Yeah, I mean, I hope we can transfer around. I hope this window we bring in players like Alvarez, that Russian baller. We go maybe get some of Potter's Brighton players. You know, Casido. I'll bring him in if the manager wants it. I think is a much better option than the man we're going to speak about soon. But we do have, yeah, like it's not gonna, it's far from an easy top 4. It's far from it. It's far from it. Like now, United are becoming quite good. Like Newcastle have a higher chance of getting top 4 than us because they play 1 game a week, right? United, they're having a good season. They got a new manager. They got 2 or 3, 4 new players, right? They're gonna be at it. Like, look, we're the worst. I mean, oh my god, Liverpool. I completely forgot about Liverpool. At least we're not that bad, but we're catching up to that. But we're catching up to them. You know, I hope we get a new right wing back January because I've had enough of him last season. That's why I said, give me Walker Peters, give me a player, give me Dumfries, give me a 15-year-old from Saudi Arabia, give me someone who can just play in that position. We don't need to have a star and pay 65 million. Go pay 20 million for Walker Peters, a guy who knows how to play in the position. He knows how to play this league. You put him there, perfect. Potter is iffy, man. And guy bringing in his shit mentality, even the way he talks in press conference, downplays the team. I thought this his degree would have helped. You know, that's what people were saying. Oh, he has a psychology degree. He knows how to talk about these players. Okay, like again, fans get angry when Tuchel says the truth, right? But they don't get angry when Potter comes and says, "Oh yeah, our team's kind of shit." Sorry, no, sorry, he doesn't say that because oh, we need time. We need time. Like excuses for him. He should be honestly. If I was Potter, I'll be blaming the players. Like I'll say this player's a shit. I didn't get rid of him. But Tuchel said that, and now he's sacked. Who's this guy? Carrera. Oh, is this the guy from Is this the guy from I'm thinking of? No, it's something I think of. These guys will get into gear. These guys will kick into gear. We will still get top four. Let's hope so, Prime. Like these guys will, maybes, if buts, but like look at all these other teams, man. Like look at these other teams. You know, we got West Ham, not West Ham, fucking United, Newcastle now coming. Like hopefully that changes, man. That needs to change. But now, like, there's now Arsenal maybe get a top four spot because they're on so many points. Like, I'll be shocked if Arsenal don't get top four because they're already on. How many points are they on? They're on 31. Like, I'll be shocked if they don't get top four. Okay, maybe not Semedo. Semedo, Emerson Royale, and Adama Torre. For me, they're three footballers who all came from Barcelona who are all just rubbish players. Like, they are just, like, rubbish. Graham, the beta male. I think Potter forgets the same team he has at disposal, won UCL and got to a FA Cup final same season, won World Cup and Super Cup and got two more domestic finals. This ain't Brighton's new clown. And let me just discuss those finals because remember that final, we should have won all three of them, but we got people that missing fronting goals. We got the team doesn't want to show up. No one wants to play. It's just I'll say it one more time. Tuchel's a better manager than Potter, but Potter's still a great manager. However, will Potter change anything? Because the way he's looking at Potter's plans is looking like it'll take 3-4 years, like it did at Brighton, to then get eighth. Like I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Like I've said I don't think Potter's that guy because I just think he thinks he's a Brighton. Like he's never had that top level where he needs to go. Something happened now. He goes, let's be calm, calma. It's our fourth year playing Europa League, but you know what? We won the Europa League. I think Arsenal will still play top four. Yeah, this is. Let's hope so. I hope so because we got 9 people in here with only 15 likes. Let's get to 20 likes right now. Are you guys serious right now, bro? Where's the clip?
Bro, are you serious right now, bro?
When we get to 20 likes, we're gonna open the lines. Oh, wait, actually, no, let's open it now because I need to go soon, and I want to discuss this talking point, guys. We're gonna be discuss. This is when it gets juicy, guys. We're gonna discuss Declan Rice. We're gonna discuss Mickey the Ghost Mount. Right. So I want everyone coming in here, like Rice, dislike Rice. I need everyone coming in here with their opinions. I'm not like someone who only brings people on if they love Mason Mount because they don't want to be challenged on their opinions. But guys, Rice in, Rice out, come in, discuss, because we are going to have a discussion, guys. On this, no disrespect to Tom Overhand, I just picked the first one I saw, but this guy's a bit delusional sometimes. But he is a good guy, though. I did speak to him last year. But he does say Declan Rice would be an excellent solution to our midfield struggles. 80 million would be a good price. Basmati baller. Basmati baller. That's high words. Now, I'm going to say here, guys. Declan Rice is not the man for Chelsea. Declan Rice is far from the man. Far from the man for Chelsea. He's far from it. Right? We need to go, and because here's the thing: 80 million would be a good price, but he's not going to be 80 mil. He's gonna be 120 minimum, 100 mil. Oh wait, what does it? So guys, there you go. All right. As I was saying, Declan Rice, guys. As I said, Declan Rice for me is not the guy for Chelsea. He's far from it. I would rather go get Casido, Ruben Neves, Alvarez, and Zakatarian, if I say his name correctly. 4 guys probably worth the same amount for Declan Rice. Right? Declan Rice is only his price because he's a captain and he's English. but he's not the man for Chelsea. We don't need a player like this. People come on the weekend when we lost Brighton, and go, Declan Rice would have solved this midfield. Would Declan Rice be putting balls in the box and shooting from halfway? No. Declan Rice would have done nothing. This guy has a horrible mentality. His leadership is rubbish. He said game week 1, West Ham lost game week 1, and this guy comes out as a captain and says to the media that West Ham are already out of the title race. We're not aiming for it. Do you want your captain to come and tell you that they're not aiming for the title? That's embarrassing. Sterling not a right wing back? Yeah, he's far from it. And Potter got the team wrong. I know Potter got the team wrong. But again, like, how many games is he gonna take to realize that these guys aren't wing backs? These guys aren't, in their position. Declan is overrated, never worth that money. He's far from it. Honestly, even if he is worth that like, say we get him for, I just don't think he's that guy. We're getting for 40 million. I'll still say no. He's not that guy. He's not that guy that we need. People just overhype him. The people like the Score. We got people like this Tom. Monster, Nini. They overhype him either one because they get paid to do it, or because he's English. This guy provides nothing. This guy will come in and split our fan base even more than I would. Right? We're already on a split with these average as players like Mason Mount. Imagine having an average as Declan Rice come in. Oh, Declan Rice. Oh no, he's done nothing wrong. Oh no, Declan Rice. Didn't complete 15 passes. Oh, but he's still the best smarty baller. Like it's just more excuses. I would rather, and this is not obviously the main reason, but Declan Rice still shit football. But I would rather go and get Casado, Ruben Neves, Alvarez, 30 mil, Neves 50 mil, Casado 40 mil. Zakatarian, 10 mil. That's 4 defenders there, probably for the same price as Declan Rice would be. Remember, West Ham valued him at 180 million last season. They wanted us to pay 140. And Tuchel never looked that way. Why? Because Tuchel knew Declan Rice is not a good footballer for Chelsea. He may be a great player for West Ham. I think West Ham's his level. I think he's having a great career at West Ham. I don't think he should leave anytime soon. I think West Ham's his home. I think West Ham, he's a captain there. He's got, he's being loved by the fans. I think West Ham's his level. That's his level. And he's been shocking this season. West Ham has been shocking in itself, but he's been up there with them. And I've always said, look at players like Tchouaméni, right? Tchouaméni played for Monaco. Monaco went on a really bad spell, 21-20, right? But he was still balling out week in, week out, right? And that's how you show a good player's worth. We got Prime in the house. Be up to Prime, man. What are you saying?
Yo, I'm good. What's up, everyone? Morning. At least where I'm at anyway. It's morning. I've got a different but similar thought process to you about Rice. I actually rate Rice. I was one of the first Chelsea fans in the fan base to rate him. Like, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I actually rated Rice way before the likes of Gem and Monster and everyone. I remember being on the terrace and having discussions with Monster and the rest of them. And I was the only one saying Declan Rice is a good DM. Like, his good potential in the future, that we should probably sign a player like him. This was way before he had all the hype. Now, though, I agree with you. He's, as much as I think he's quality, and I think he has potential to be world class, that 100+ price tag, he's definitely not worth it, for one. And two, I'm at a stage now where I'm sick of players that have player stance. And that's why I want to get rid of the likes of Mount and Havertz. Rice, as much as I think he's a great player, he's a good player and could be great, I don't think he is worth the hassle the player stance will bring. Because I don't want to have to over criticize him or over protect him just because there'll be people who will overhype him or people who will overhate him. I'm sick of having to do that. I had to
The
do
problem,
it
you know,
with
it also
yeah.
interferes with the football as well. Because if the fans are really enjoying him and the manager talks bad about them, then you know, then the board will be angry. Like, look at Tuchel. He spoke bad about Mount, and now where's he? He's sacked. So if we get these stands and they really love Rice and they love him to death, blah 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 blah, and the fans are loving him, and the manager talks bad about him, the board's going to be upset because the fans are unhappy because the manager's discussing him in a poorly way. So that also comes with the player stands as well.
Yeah, and I'm sick of it. And that's why I want to get rid of, as much as a lot of the squad is like average and dross. I want to get the specifically. I want to get rid of these player stands. Like for example, we know Fator loves Timo Werner. You know you love Kepa and Lewis loves Christensen. That's just three I'm gonna name. But none of you guys are like, as much as you guys can be a bit shameless or whatever, fine, people can say that. But no, but here's the thing though. You guys are more so like, I guess, funny than anything else. You're not annoying and toxic.
We're not that serious.
Exactly. Like if Kepa has a bad game or Christensen or Werner, you guys will call it out and say, Lewis will be the first one to say it about Christensen. But when it comes to the likes of Mount and Havertz, when these guys have bad games, they get protected. If they had one good performance or one good goal, they get over. Like, example, midweek, we played Salzburg. We won 2-1. Great goal by Havertz. It was a bit fluky because he's not someone who scores like that, but still, great goal. I'm not going to take that away from him. On Wednesday, right, around this time, actually on Wednesday, I was getting people were calling my phone, Chelsea fans, calling me on Instagram. Particularly, I'll mention Deals and Chelsea Dan, trying to speak on, trying to get me to speak about Havertz and like, I have this agenda against Havertz. You hate all our players, yada yada yada. And I was like, all right, cool. It was a great goal, fluky but great goal. And they're like, oh, you can't say it was fluky. And I was like, yeah, I can, because he's not going to pull that off again. Like, but whatever, it is what it is. He still had a poor performance for me. One goal won't change anything. And they were like, why do you hate on Havertz? Why do you hate on Havertz? And I was like, all of this energy is not just for Havertz. Majority of the squad I don't like. And they were like, name players, name players. You better include Aspie in that. You better include Jorginho. And I was like, yeah, Aspie, Jorginho as well. They can go. I want majority of the squad gone. And they were like, oh, you want Reece James gone as well? And I was like, if you guys don't rate James, that's fine. But at least for me, I know where my like level 1 standard is. And Deals was like, oh, maybe you don't know. Maybe Havertz is going through something in his life then. And I was like, listen,
What was that? What was that consistency back in 2020 for Kepa?
not even that. Yeah, I was like, look, if Havertz is actually going through something in his family life or whatever, then I feel sorry for him because like no one deserves that, and he should be dropped from the squad for his own good and ours.
Yeah.
But don't use that as an excuse because when Kepa like broke up with his girlfriend and he was dumped and had like mental health stuff going on, Chelsea fans were like, "Suck it up! Everyone gets dumped. It's not a big deal." When Werner came to Chelsea and he was getting abuse on a daily from Chelsea fans, no one spoke about it. When Jorginho has been getting abuse since he stepped in at Chelsea, no one spoke about it. Lukaku, regardless of the fact of it was a terrible interview for him to do, and he's a snake, but when he got racial abuse from our fan base, no one, and I try to speak on him, and I try to speak on it and say, guys, like this abuse you're giving him is too much. He's getting racially abused now. Let's just back off. There were Chelsea fans going on stream and saying, so what if he's getting racially abused? The man up and accept it. Like, so why should I then? What as a fan base, I thought it was accepted that we don't care if our players go through mental health. William's when we won the league under Conte, William's mother died. No one cared. Like, why should it be?
But Prime,
Why do I now care about
you
Havertz?
know why? You know why? Because
Yeah.
it's double standards. And I think if you saw what I said on the terrace, I said that we have double standards at this football club, and that Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, but mainly Mason Mount, are why we have double standards. Because these players bang average, but we make him look out to be good. Havertz, I was just going through before, and you're in the chat, like Kuleveski, who is not as hyped as Mason Mount, they're on the same level. So why are players why does it come to a transfer window then we automatically exclude Mason Mount and Kai Havertz from it? Why? That's
Exactly.
double standards.
It's
So
annoying, and it's like these like Martin Havertz, and again, it's like these are the main two anyway. The protection these guys get when they haven't even done half as much as John Obi Mikel, Florent Malouda, Solomon Kalou, for example, Raul Morales. But the abuse John Obi Mikel got at Chelsea, just because of the fact of we had better midfielders like Balak and Essien and Lampard, not because Mikel wasn't good, because he clearly was good enough. The abuse he got. But yeah, Mount and Havertz can be scapegoated, and we're not allowed to criticize them. The abuse Malouda and Kalou got. But yeah, if they were in our team, if we had a front three of Malouda, Kalou, Schürrle, we'd comfortably be probably the second or third best team in the league, just based on the fact that we'd have enough goals. And these forwards were not good enough when we were at our best. It's the standards have dropped massively. And as much as we can talk about how the board have failed us in not signing the right players, and that's been going on as far as like 2015, 16, 17, that long, the standards since Frank has become our manager have gone. We're not. We when we let things like when Frank became manager and people were saying we'll finish 6th or 8th because they wanted to protect Frank if he doesn't finish top 4 is wrong. Like, no, top 4 is a basic requirement. I expect top 4 from Lampard as a minimum, as I would expect from Tuchel or Sarri or Potter now, as a bare minimum. Top 4 and get a cup final minimum. Because it's Chelsea Football Club, like top 4. And I said this during even this summer when people were crying about our preseason. We'll get top 4 because at a base level, it's the minimum we should be doing. These players, and the thing is, all this we're going through, we won't get punished. We deserve to finish 8th or 9th and have our eyes, the fan base, open to what's actually going on. But you know what will happen? We'll finish 4th or maybe even finish 3rd. We'll still finish top 4. We'll probably get to a semi-final or to a cup final, and Chelsea fans will think everything's okay again. We won't be punished.
And this thing with Chelsea, we will win 3-4 games. It will go out of everyone's head. We lose the game. It comes back. But at the end of the day, it goes out of everyone's head. And you got people like we all know this guy. I'm not going to mention his name on the screen because those who don't rate Mason Mount haven't watched Mason Mount. And it's a problem with these guys who just overhype Mason Mount. I feel sorry for Mason Mount because he's gone to a standard where he's never going to achieve. I respect these fans for supporting the club, for enjoying their players, but you got to be honest with them, right? And you got to sit down and you got to look at the player and compare the player to what we've had, right? As you've just done, and compare him to what Premier League teams have. I was just comparing to Premier League teams. You were comparing to Premier League players. Literally every name we mentioned are better than this Mason Mount. But we're upholding Mason Mount to a standard where he's the Frank Lampard, where we can't touch him. He's the banner boy. And that's why I say the double standards in this club is disgusting. And if Mason Mount, the English flag was taken off him, we'll be all calling for double standards. But because there's that English flag next to his name and he was from Cobham, no one's calling it out. And that's why Mason Mount needs to leave for the best of this football club. And getting Declan Rice will add to the problem. It's not going to fix any problem because, as I said, I'll repeat it. You said that it's going to be this player stand. I agree. It's going to be this player stand, the split between the fan base, Declan Rice in, Declan Rice out. And what brings that? If there's so many fans really loving Declan Rice and there's a big fan base that dislike him, the people who like him and a lot of them are the match goers, right? And let's say Declan Rice drops a shocker performance and the manager criticizes him, the manager's going to get criticized by the board because that's when it comes down to hurting the business. Because we saw what happened to Tuchel when he talked bad about Werner and Mount, and he goes, these players are not good enough. What happened? The fans attacked him, and the board got upset with him. That's why he's sacked, right? So let's see what Potter can do. But do you see the double standards when it comes to Mason Mount, though, Prime?
Not just Mount. I see it with other players. Like and that's why getting rid of the squad, because a lot of these players in the squad, for one reason or another, are polarizing within the fan base. The
Mm.
fact of like Kepa's been in goal since Potter's been here. The fact of I'm seeing Chelsea fans uh saying things like, "Oh, Kepa needs the. I hope we lose our next game by a big score margin, so Potter can realize Kepa is not the guy and he can be dropped." Like,
Yeah.
what type of stupidity? Like, I don't. If you don't like a player, I get it for one reason or another. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Chalobah. I think he's average, but the fact that he's been up until at least last game anyway, he's been performing for us this season and he's been more or less flawless. I like that because he's playing in the team. Like, regardless of whether I like you or not, I need you to perform when you're on the pitch because I need Chelsea to win. Like, I don't. People talking about, when I see on Twitter, Jorginho has a bad half, and Chelsea fans are like, see, this is why he's not good enough. But like, we need him to play well when he's playing. We need him to play well because we need to win. Like, I don't like Havertz and Mount, but like, I want them to have good games because they
Of
play the
course.
majority of our games. I need them
And we
to
spend
have
big
good
money.
games.
We're spending money on
Yeah,
these guys. They're not free.
it's 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 it's, it's frustrating. People don't like. People will bring down. I've had people bring down Reece James to protect Havertz and Mount. People have brought down our legends: Drogba, Lampard, Hazard. People have, you know, this guy, for example, on the screen saying that downplaying Hazard to prop up Mason Mount, saying Eden Hazard was a stat padder.
That's
Hazard stat
embarrassing.
padded. That's an
And watch it. No,
oxymoron.
no one, no one will call it out.
Hazard was
No
one
one
of the
will call
few
it.
guys. Hazard was one of the few guys who did not stat pad. Hazard would square the ball if it was an open goal just to get an assist, just to help someone else. Like, Hazard was someone who didn't stat pad. And we're talking. Listen, like, I'm sick of this fan base. I'm sick of this fan base.
I said
Like,
if
I'm
I
not
stopped
even.
watching
The
football
thing is,
because of Mason Mount, like
I'm not even angry at these. The thing is, I hate these players, but like, I'm more fed up if anything. I'm not even angry at these players because when Tuchel got sacked, I said the same thing. It's the fan base that when things go bad with Potter, which they will, I won't criticize Potter because he's dealt the bad hand with these players. It is what it is. I have to wait until Bowley gets rid of them. But it's the fans. I know you guys will turn. You guys are all cozy. Yeah, Potter's here. We're going to build for the future. Yeah. We've lost one game. Bad result, yes, but we've lost one game. And all of a sudden, you guys want to sack him. Like,
sacking in
more
October,
bad
man.
results will happen like this. We're going to lose against Arsenal badly. We'll lose against Man City. And we'll probably scrape against Newcastle. Like, bad results will keep happening. And it's not Potter's fault. It cannot be.
No.
Like, it can't be Potter's fault.
Because how do you look at this team and look? It's the most bang average team I've ever seen. I think I can't even remember since I've seen this. Frank Lampard's season, that's probably the same amount of team, where it's a similar level, right? Because his players are fucking horrendous. They're rubbish. Loftus-Cheek in 2022, and this guy's playing right wing back. Like, what? Why? And the thing for me as well, Prime, is that I won't blame Potter either because I will blame these players because these players have gone through 3 managers and they're still rubbish. Like, how is Havertz gone through Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel, and Graham Potter, and the guy is still fucking rubbish? That for me shows he's an absolute horrendous player. And would you sell all our attack? Like, would you? Because for me, I'll get rid of Havertz, I'll get rid of Mount, I'll get rid of Pulisic, and I'll get rid of Ziyech right now if I could.
Everyone. Bro, listen, I kept saying last season, as bad as what Lukaku did, play him. Because if you play to his strengths, he guarantees goals. Lukaku, bad first touch, bad link up play, yada yada yada. Say all of that. That's fine. He's touch of a trampoline. He's fat and all of that. Fine. But at least his one attribute he excels in, which is getting goals. Name me an attribute the players we have in our attack that they excel in, and you can guarantee. Like, these guys can't consistently get goals. They can't consistently get assists. They don't have link up play. They don't have vision. Don't have intelligence. Don't have movement. At least, and that's why I wanted to play Lukaku and Werner last season. At least I can guarantee they'll get me something. Werner's first season got 27 GA. as bad as he is as a player, he got 27 GA. I can guarantee they'll do something.
That's what
Like,
we're gonna
yeah, get
guarantee
rid of
something.
everyone. Get rid of all this. Get rid of all this attack. Only Sterling I'll keep. People saying Sterling's in bad form. He's playing wing back. When Cho played wing back, the excuses was Tuchel's playing him out of position. Tuchel's playing him out of position. It's Tuchel's fault. Tuchel doesn't rate him. Tuchel doesn't love him. Can we not say the same thing about Potter then? Potter's playing him wing back. Is it not a thing of Potter doesn't rate Sterling then? Potter doesn't love Sterling? Is Graham Potter a terrorist? Can we not say that then? Be consistent, guys. Be consistent.
Yeah, and we're a reactionary, inconsistent fan base. And for me, I read this list. I'm going to tweet it later, but I've said Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount, Azpilicueta, Mendy, Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic, Gallagher are not Chelsea level, and Kante and Jorginho are declining, right? When you got that list, that big of a list, that's when you know we're in shambles. So coming January, for me, honestly, at this point, we need to sign. We need to have an August window in January for me, because I don't know. Every day, the chance of top four just drops. So you're saying we don't finish top four? What do you think we finish then?
We will.
Oh, sorry, no. You're
We-
saying you're saying you will. Sorry, yeah. You're saying
Bro,
we will.
listen. As much as all of this I'm saying, you know what the annoying part is? We won't get punished for being this bad. We've been like our previous seasons. Actually, think of what happened during the season and how bad we were during those seasons, and we still ended up scraping top four or getting to a cup final or winning a trophy or winning the Europa League to get top four. Like we and I think of everyone else. I think of we will get knocked out by the round of 16, the Champions. So we'll be playing one game a week basically. Man United will go far in the Europa League. Arsenal will go far in the Europa League. Their squads, even though they're performing well right now, their squads is not strong enough to play 2 games a week in the running of the season. Spurs will be knocked out by the round of 16 in the Champions League as well, or maybe even Europa League because they could finish in there. They could finish third in their group, which is funny. Spurs and Chelsea will still get top 4, and Liverpool will get top 4. We'll finish 4th probably, or maybe
Really,
3rd.
Liverpool.
And
Really, Liverpool can make the top 4.
yes, like this is how top 4 is not hard to achieve for 1 and 2. We won't it's annoying. We won't get punished for being this bad. Like I was on the stream yesterday, and a Newcastle fan, Steve, was talking about how Newcastle can get top 4. Like Newcastle are probably a better team in terms of how they work than Chelsea. But with all due respect, like Chelsea will find a way to fugazi top 4. It's annoying, but
But yeah, the only way
remember,
Newcastle make anywhere close.
yeah,
Yeah, they're not gonna make top 4. I think top 6, but they might
no,
make it because then they play one game a week. That's for me.
bro, we'll
That's the main factor.
fugazi. We will fugazi. I don't want this to, but I don't want it to finish 8th, but we need to get punished. We need to drop down so low. I don't want Europa
we
League
make
or
our
Cup.
top 4. Yeah, who are you
Yeah,
playing? Who are you playing? Would you be Potter
players.
out?
No, I can't. Like I said this when Potter got sacked. I don't want him here. I think he's vastly overhyped and rated. But like, I know he's a good coach, and I know if he's given his players, he can build something.
Yeah.
But I can't blame him with these set of players. I can't. I've seen these players go to the. I've seen these players pull off, like win the Champions League in that fashion. If you guys can do that on a consistent basis, getting top 4 should be something you guys can do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Like,
I mean,
I
I'm literally just hoping 4th at this point because you're right, problem. Like it will make like last season, we're Chelsea Football Club, but the realistically thing is like United's playing well, maybe Newcastle, but again, it comes down to the 2 games a week, and if we're declining hard, and January, if nothing happens January, we might be back here in February talking about this conversation, saying shit, maybe we were wrong. Because I think it comes down to after this January window because the year's done. We're done. We've got 3 more games, 9 points. Maybe we scrape. I'm honestly hoping for probably 7 out of it. We get 1 draw, maybe 2 wins, but I don't think that happens. So we get maybe 6 points, 7 points. After that, we have to go hard in this January window. If anyone shines the World Cup, we go buy them. I would go, as I said, I will go buy Alvarez. I will go buy Casido from I will go buy Zaha. I will go buy and spend 120, 30 million this window and then not spend big in August because this January window is important. We still need to make progress now before we even think about next season because we have write-off seasons week in, year out. But it's like, when's the season that we're going to actually compete? When's that season going to happen? When do you think it's going to happen? When
We're
we
far
actually
off
compete?
competing. I heard Chelsea fans saying we're 3-4 players away. Bro, listen,
Oh,
we like okay. Let's go through the players that are good enough. Thiago Silva is going to retire by this season or next, so
he's
he
gone.
doesn't count long term.
He's gone.
The only players good enough are Reece James, Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella, and
Wow.
Fofana.
Yeah.
That's only 5. And if you're
Silva?
talking about a starting 11, okay, Kovacic. Let's include him. If we're talking, that's 6. If we're talking about starting 11, we need 5 more players just to make a starting 11. Now think about a squad. A squad is what, 23 players. 23 players.
Yep.
Like how many? So what? What? How many is that? 6. That's
Well, if we said like,
well,
oh, Chukwuemeka, Broja, maybe we
we need
keep like,
15 players. We need
I like,
15
like I said,
players.
I would keep Mount if he was a fucking superstar, but that's never gonna happen. So my idea would be to sell him.
No,
Pulisic
the
is
profile of
gone.
Mount right now, profile of Mount in our fan base and in England, I won't allow him to be. And
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
he
he
won't.
can. I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he's a guy that will be willing to sit on the bench. But like, it might just be
Obviously,
worth like I guess selling him.
unrealistically, I would love him to be a superstar. But it's not going to happen because, yeah, as I said,
Mm.
Mount's persona, the name Mason Mount. It's like, oh, he's this top guy. Like the guy barely makes it for
Yeah,
England. Like he barely
but
makes it.
yeah,
He
we
only makes
need
it because of his name.
but we need at least what 10 players, maybe 10 to 15, depending on. Yeah, fine. You can include Broha, you can include Chuameka, Kessieda, and Omari. And then you have other players who
They're advanced. Yeah.
people have question marks on. I wouldn't mind keeping Jorginho maybe for another season, but get rid of him. I don't mind either way. Kappa, like it depends on how quickly you can find another goalkeeper to be our number one for the future. I don't mind either way. But
Chilwell.
like whatever, I don't know. He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
I don't get
I don't
why
know with them, man.
Cucurella's
I don't
playing
know.
left centre back and Chilwell is playing left wing. It's annoying. Play Cucurella in his best position.
I thought he could do it. I thought he could play left centre. He did at Brighton, but he can't do it here. I don't know. I don't know
He
why.
played at
He did it
Brighton
at Brighton.
he
Fine,
played
but I
at
don't know why.
Brighton. He played at Brighton for 10 games because there are injury problems. But like he only did it for 10 games. And the guy who played left wing back was Trossard,
Yeah, trust that. Yeah, and
who funny
that's a
enough
player, man.
scored against us.
That's
Like
the player that might be
man.
coming. That's the player that might be coming. Would you take him?
Yeah,
At this
because
point, we can't be
like
picky.
we need depth. We need depth. Well, I say
Honestly,
depth. He'd probably be our best. He'd probably start in our forward line. But like in terms of wing backs, we need depth.
as I said, if we window opens tomorrow, Mount needs to go. And so actually, I'll go back to the thing on Declan Rice as well because I think Declan Rice for me, I said he's a good player for West Ham. I don't think he's ever going to be Chelsea level. I would never take him on Chelsea, me personally, because one, I don't think it fits our system. I don't think it fits the way we play. I like his physicality, but I'm not going to go spend 120 million on a physicality guy. He has absolutely horrible leadership. This guy said that West Ham are going to lose the league game week 1. Like you can't be saying that game as a leader. And I would rather go spend that money on go from Brighton, Casido, 30 mil, Alvarez, Zakatarian, Ruben Neves. That's 4 players for the price of Declan Rice. What route would you go for?
Yeah, well, again, like I said before, like I rate Rice, but just the infighting in the fan base and stuff, it's not worth him getting.
So you
Um,
wouldn't go for Rice then? You wouldn't go for Rice this summer or season?
no, just based on I don't want players that are going to be polarizing. Um,
Yeah.
I like De Jong. I think it's worth trying for De Jong in January or maybe even in the summer again. Like his quality, I think it's
Yeah.
worth trying for.
I'm
Um,
just afraid that if he doesn't put the effort in, that's for me. I see him as a guy who just doesn't put effort. I see him as a Loftus Cheek, like as a fun, like if he comes here, will he try? I don't know, but
no, he
I
will.
would take him in a
He's
heartbeat
quality.
last season. But I hope I would
He
take him in a
will.
heartbeat.
The only question mark is how will he adapt to the Prem because Dutch players sometimes are kind of hit and miss. So it's how he adapts to the Prem, and he hasn't played football consistently in a while. But yeah, I rate Manuel Locatelli. I've been speaking about this guy since um last year before the Euros. So this is not last season, but the season beforehand. I've been speaking about this guy, right? And he
Mm.
played in the Euros in the group stages. He lit it up. Everyone thought he was amazing. And Juve got him. I want him at Chelsea, and I think it's worth trying, especially how bad Juve have been.
Yeah. But who'd you say?
Emmanuel Locatelli or Manuel Locatelli,
Oh,
De
Locatelli.
Jong.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps
Yeah.
speaking on Alvarez. I haven't watched him, so I don't have an opinion.
He's been great for. He's been great for Ajax this season. He's
Is
been
he?
doing good. Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Wait, I think we had
There's
a minor injury though, but he's doing good.
We're linked with Enzo Fernandez, again, another player I haven't watched. Big up Noah. So I have no opinion on him. But a player who I do like Wilfred Ndidi at Leicester. I know he hasn't had the best season, but he's a top DM, and Leicester have just been so bad. I think bringing him in, a defensive midfielder, can break up play and just play the ball to De Jong and whatever.
I think it's good, but I
would
think
need
there's
that.
better options. That's the thing for me. I think this is better options that we can go for. Like,
Really?
I would rather go for Casita for Brighton than go for Ndidi.
I think because I think Ndidi is better, man. And he really is better.
I haven't seen Ndidi show up in like years.
I have,
Honestly,
I've been watching.
20 for me was the last time I've seen him show up.
He's been injured, but since then he's been
Oh, he's been
having
injured.
injuries.
Injury shit.
Well,
Man. I
not
don't know
even
about that.
necessarily just injuries, but also Rogers at Leicester just been he's been playing him at centre
Rubbish.
back and stuff.
Oh yeah, but
So
they're
like
fucked on centre backs. Yeah, they're fucked.
yeah, so I don't know. I would bring him in again. It depends on the price. Is Casieda or yeah, the guy at Casieda, the guy at Brighton. He's all right, I guess. I don't know. I just want a scouting network. Get me a director of football, get a scouting network
Yes.
in, and let them do all the work. Because I don't mind spending big money on players. That's fine, so long as they're worth it. The way
Yeah. Just show up.
we spent 100 million on Lukaku because Havertz and Werner weren't scoring goals consistently. We spent 72 on Havertz because of he was available and no one else was going to buy him because of the pandemic and
The
COVID.
board one on him.
We spent 72 on Kepa because we were haggling over the financial fee for Allison. We spend money without really researching properly,
Yeah.
and
Just
it's
store there.
annoying.
Right.
Do the proper research, and if a player is worth 60 mil or 100 mil or whatever, then pay that fee. But don't just pay randomly because he has nice stats. But how does he suit into the team? How does he fit the system? Does he have the
Well,
mentality to be a
we
Chelsea
knew
player?
our scouting system was fucking horrendous. Like we fucking knew it. That's
Yeah.
why we really need an upgrade. But Noah has a question saying, question for you in prime. Thoughts on Chelsea fans who said RSC is world class? Well, I think RSC is absolutely horrendous. I said it last season, and I heard World Cup shouts. Like that was fucking embarrassing. The guy's far from World Cup. And that just shows our standards. Like our standards have dropped that much. When you've got we got own fans saying that Loftus-Cheek, a guy who hasn't performed since 2018, should go to the World Cup. Same thing it's the same thing now. Same thing with our fan base. Our fan base is an overreactionary, overhyping these English players just like usual. But they look at Loftus-Cheek, they rate him, but then they look at Jorginho, who has trophies to his name, who's balled out and won us the Champions League, but they disregard him. So it doesn't make sense. But what's your thought on that, Prime?
We're not. Remember Sarri season?
I remember that very clear.
This is Ruben's probably one good season. Chelsea fans comparing him with Paul Pogba. That's our fan base. Ruben's been here since I remember he was here when we won the league with Mourinho in 2015, and I think Ruben's been in our squad since
he was in there. Well,
20.
It was 17. He got implemented 17, but 18 was like his real time that he had.
But he's been here for almost a decade. Eventually, the same thing with Jesse Lingard. Eventually, you just have to go.
Exactly. He's just
you haven't.
He's
you haven't actually. Lingard's a better player. I take Lingard in our forward line right now. I take Lingard. Eventually, I'm sorry, Ruben, but you have to go. You have this whole thing of Ruben had a poor loan at Fulham, and Chelsea fans were saying, "Oh, he can come into the team. He just needed that loan to get fitness. It wasn't about him being great." What? No. We had Ross Barkley, who in my opinion is a better player. And people were like, no, just play Ruben, play Ruben. Like, no,
Because
everyone
Ruben looks
has to go.
fancy. Ruben looks fancy. You know, he's big. But then if you really watch him, the guy walks. You know, the guy does his hair mid game.
Bro,
It's like, oh
he's 6'2", light skin, has a hairline. That's why people rate him, honestly.
my.
It's not a joke.
No, same with Chilwell, man. Same with Chilwell. Now apparently it's coming together, but it's Chilwell and fucking Loftus Cheek for you, man. That's our fan base. But no, it's Sangare. I've watched Sangare since the season started. I have no clue how he's playing. Have you even looked at him?
Saying it, no, I haven't watched them. I have
Yeah,
not watched
I
them.
think that guy's off our radar. I don't think he's that. I think, as I said, I think we've got a lot of options now. I think coming, we looked at it back in August. We didn't really have a lot of options, and then now we've got Alvarez. You know, Bellingham's looking like a make off for sale. Would you take Bellingham?
But uh, Bellingham is no different to Mason. Well, I don't think he's that much better than Mason now. He's vastly overrated.
Yeah,
He's
I
vastly
haven't watched
overrated.
him.
Let's not do this.
I saw him in
He's
Dortmund or something. He got a good goal, but I don't really know, man. For that price, it's a
bro.
price tag, man.
I don't think. No, and plus, I don't even think like again, just because a player's quality, we have to be smart. Does he suit us? The way Potter has played at
Yeah.
Brighton, anyway. Does Bellingham suit that style of play?
What is
No.
it?
So I
He
think
plays
it'd
like
be
a
a waste.
cam. Like, again, we don't play with a cam.
I think it'd be a waste. Like I don't.
It's not worth it.
I don't
As I said,
know.
we've got much better options, and I think that's when you go for. Maybe get the Primson and say, right, Ruben's time is up at Chelsea. Yeah, well, we said that last season, you know, like, but it's genuinely embarrassing how our fans rate him. I just don't know how the manager rates him. And coming Zagreb, if Zachary does not start, there's some issues that we don't know of. Because
Oh,
if he's consistently starting,
what? Why do people want to play Zachariah?
because he's our player, he's on the books. Why don't we
He's
play him?
not. Maybe because he's not good. He was a panic buy
But how do
loan
we
move.
know? How do we know?
But he was a panic. He was a panic buy loan move. On deadline
Kepa
day,
was a
the guy
panic
hasn't
buy.
played.
Like half our team's panic buys.
True. He hasn't played consistent football in like a year. This calendar year, he hasn't played consistent football. Because at Juve, he wasn't getting game time. And also, Chelsea fans need to realize this guy's not a DM.
He's
The
the only
reason why
one on
he
our
couldn't
team who has
play,
defensive qualities. He has defensive
he
qualities.
doesn't. Bro,
He played DM
honestly, he doesn't.
at Mönchengladbach.
He didn't. He played center mid.
No, he plays a DM.
At Switzerland, or not,
Oh,
not
that's
yeah,
Switzerland.
Switzerland he plays for. He plays center mid. At
Who's
Juve,
the
funny
DM there?
enough,
Xhaka. That goes
at,
Xhaka's DM.
at Juve, funny enough, when he was
He played next
the
level
reason why
time.
he's not getting game time is because Allegri wanted to play him DM and he couldn't play there. Like
No,
this
he
guy,
got injured.
listen,
No, but
whatever. I hope
Allegri, they use Locatelli instead of him. But the point is, right, if you say he's not DM, right, we still need him on this pitch. Like we are
I
relying.
don't.
We play cover Loftus Cheek week in week out. None of them are DMs. Right.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
just
why
think
we.
maybe he's just not fit to play. Like,
But then
listen,
why?
I already said this loan move's going to be bad. We're going to terminate his contract in January and get someone else. Watch,
That's
we'll
fine with me. That's
terminate in
fine. But
January.
I think for me, he deserves a shot. I think Saul
When?
we could have clapped Saul's hand, and when he went off on loan, if he consistently started a bit more, right? I think we
What?
should be doing the same with Zakaria. I think because Saul
When?
wasn't that bad of a
When do
loan.
you play him? When do you play Zachariah?
But we play him on Wednesday. We got Zagreb. Like it's pretty much,
Oh yeah, we're
a
done.
win.
Yeah.
Play him there. So I'll play Zagreb there. If Zachary doesn't start there, then like there's something issues there. Like I would start him in those games, FA Cup, Carabao, because he was a baller at Mönchengladbach. We were literally looking at him when we were looking at Tuchemani. That's not last season, the season before that. We got Saul. He was on our radar, right? So what if we can revive that player? Right? We've got only 2 months to do it now. So I would have given him that shot against maybe Salzburg because I think he's a better player than Loftus Cheek. He's done more than Loftus Cheek has done, So I would rather him start over there. So I don't know how we know, but Rick says, how do we even know? How do you know he's not good when you haven't seen him play? Don't know. We're ready to qualify for next round. I want to see Zakaria. I was not celebrating those 9 games which we won. We will come back to reality after Bradford. Yeah, exactly. We won off mistakes. Like Mason Mount scored off mistakes, and people, he's back. Apologize. Apologize for fucking what? For him scoring off mistakes. Like that's just embarrassing. Kepa saved us for Brentford, for Villa, and then the guy we've done 2 games for us. Like, we could have been 9 points down if it wasn't for him. Reece James saved us for the last 9 games. Now he's injured. Now we're hopeless. Now Kepa and Reece James are injured, and our only last hope is Thiago Silva, who's 39. So coming Arsenal, I said I wouldn't be surprised if actually we win, but it's not looking good. But what was your thoughts actually on that, like, Brentford, on those last 5 games? We haven't spoken in a while, but what was like your thoughts after we won? We had that good run. Like, did you knew it was to come crashing down, or did you think positively?
Like I don't know. I just think like the results looked good at the time, but like you look into it. Well, we played AC Milan first game. They were missing half their 11. They only had to rely on Leao, and he got like stopped easily because he had no support. Wolves was did Wolves get a red card?
No, I think that was the only. We just had a good performance, didn't we? Take a red card.
Hold on 1 second. I can just bring up these fixtures because it's easier.
Oh, look, yeah, because I was saying before I think we played good then, but now you say red card. Was it the Wolves game we got a red card? No, it's Milan. That was red card.
Hold on,
Wolves was no, it was Milan.
So yeah, the Palace game was like we conceded early, and like that game was quite shaky. We won and it was great, but like that game was quite shaky. The first game in Milan, like they were missing half their squad, and like we scored again in the 24th minute from a corner, and like we were able to coast through.
I think Wolves was the only like tactical game we had, but Wolves are in a relegation battle right now. Like, so
I don't think Wolves was that, bro. We scored in injury in the last, like in injury time in the first half. If we didn't score in that first half, I don't think we win that game, or at least it becomes a bigger struggle. Milan second game we played at the San Siro, they got a red. Tomorrow got sent off early. If he doesn't get sent off, like that game's a struggle to win.
A much hard game, 100%.
Villa were playing a poor Villa team that were a manager that's about to get sacked. In
Plus,
reality,
we won off mistakes. Like we
exactly. That was a
shocking free kick.
Yeah, Tyrone Mings and whoever the keeper is.
No one talks about it because Mount took the free kick. Like, it's embarrassing.
Brentford, we drew against, and that was a game where like we actually got punished for the bad, the poor play we've been playing. Man United, that was a draw, but like, and maybe a draw is deserved, I guess, but. In reality, the chances United, Rashford, the one he had when he was played through, Rashford should have scored that. To be fair, good save from Kepa, but like Rashford still should have scored that.
Anthony as well should have Anthony, around the back of the net.
Exactly. Like they should have won. They should have won 1-0 or maybe even 2-1. Salzburg, the last game we had in the Champions League, like that was we won based off of 2 wonder goals. Like you play that game again, that's a struggle.
And they're an Austrian team. They're rubbish.
Yeah. And then the game we just played at the weekend, Brighton, it was just mistake after mistake after mistake. Like, people were saying, can you blame... I was talking to the Aussie Gooner during the game. Can you blame Kepa for any of the goals? He said this at half-time. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe you can blame him, I guess. Maybe for the first goal, maybe he should be doing better.
Sure, I haven't spoken about that.
How are you?
I haven't spoken about that. I completely forgot to speak about that. I said I wouldn't blame him for the 2 because they're own goals.
On goals. Yeah.
I don't think he expects Loftus-Cheek to put in his own net. The first goal, I said I think he should have came out a bit more. But I go, hang on, that's not his job. There's 3 defenders there. Why aren't 3 of the defenders taking the ball off the defender coming?
That's what I was saying to him. I was saying to Steve, maybe you can blame Kepa for the first goal a bit. Fine.
I won't say blame. I think he should have done a bit.
It's not even. Yes. It's not even blame because why are we getting cut through our defense so easily? Like the goal shouldn't happen because our defense should have dealt with it in the first place.
Yeah.
That was a lot. I kept saying that a lot during Frank when he was here. That everyone kept saying Kepa should be doing better. Kepa should be doing better. And my thing was, why is it always going to Kepa? Why can't the defense deal with it in the first place? That's my problem. Deal with it in the first place so it doesn't have to. And when Mendy was playing well under Tuchel, a lot of that was due to the fact of the defense dealt with it in the first place before it resulted to Mendy having to make a save. Deal with it.
Right.
Like Kepa's
Yeah.
the last, our goalkeeper. You're the last line of defense. I'm not gonna blame you when something goes wrong unless you make a howler. I can't blame you when something goes wrong because you are the last line of defense.
He's been saving us
Why can't
week
the
in, week
first
out.
line
That's the
why
problem.
can't yeah why can't our midfield fix it? Why can't our defense fix it? Why does it have to be the goalkeeper? Why does it have to be the last guy for me to say you're the no? I can't be doing the two Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Trevor Chalobah, like, again, stupid from set pieces. I've been saying that all season, by the way. We can't defend set pieces.
We're just too small.
Like, it's
Small.
frustrating.
No one.
It's
It's
frustrating.
we've got no leadership. Right, our captain is fucking horrendous, and obviously Thiago Silva is as quiet as a library. Right? The guy doesn't talk. He's not vocal. He's a fantastic ball player, but he's not vocal. You look at him in the France dressing room. Everyone's there vibing, they're dancing, and he's there. I respect he's he's a professional footballer, but we need leadership. Right, we don't have any. And that comes down to why we lost as well in Brighton because we're 3-0 down and we've got players walking, we've got players yawning, doing nothing. And Brighton are bang, 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 non-stop. That comes down to smart footballers. We don't have smart footballers. Half our team's fucking dumb in the head, right? But Noah had a question saying, are you guys looking forward for Derby Day against Arsenal? Because will you guys love it if there's I mean, we're at a point where fights are our last problem. We need to scrape a win. We don't have any players to fight. Like who's there to back us up? Reece James is gone. Mounts, just wants to cause problems on people half his size. He only does that. He did it to Martinez, the midget, and then he did it to fuck, what game was it? Oh shit, where he like bodied someone when we were 3-0 up or something, and I don't remember. Fuck, but Mount's not gonna do shit, and we don't have anyone who would do it. That's why I said I'll go get a Kimpembe. You touch Kimpembe the wrong way, and it comes out. Actually, sorry, look at Arsenal. Arsenal have their team is fucking beautiful because when someone maybe presses a player, their whole team comes, not just one. Their whole team jumps at them. That's what you want. Our team is so soft. It's so soft. When we had that fight against Tottenham, the only player was Kepa Arrizabalaga, who was coming off the bench, scrapping, trying to stop
This
it.
this season, I don't even like. Can we stop this narrative? We didn't play well against Tottenham. Like, let's be real. The game we played against Tottenham was the same we've been playing all season. Like Spurs are Spurs. He bottled it against us. We were down and out for the count and should have got battered in that game going into that game. We didn't because they bottled it. We didn't play well. I'm not again standards. The standards we have for this club, we did not play well. If this was a real Chelsea team, we batter Spurs 5-0 without trying. We didn't
Yeah.
play well. We didn't.
And I
Like,
mean, for me, like we didn't play well, but we deserved to win that game. Like there was
yeah, we
fouls
deserved to win it,
in the game.
but we didn't win
That
because
that's that's been Chelsea. Like we've been poor, but we win the games. Like that's why these fans they want to play. These fans want to play like Brighton. They play beautiful football, but they lose fucking week in week out. I would rather fucking win and play shit than fucking play fucking good and lose. That's my thing. I just want to grab 3 points. Yes, we need to play good football, but we deserve to win that Tottenham game.
yeah, but like we also deserved to win against both games against AC Milan, but we still didn't play well. Like we
Yeah,
haven't been playing well all season. I don't want people to think this is a new phenomenon. Like again, Tuchel said this in the summer. Same players. Why do you expect there to be a difference?
exactly. But when he said that, what happened? He got sacked. So let's hope that Potter can say instead of saying, "Oh, we need time, this and that." Like you need to come and call out these players. You need to be honest with these players. I hope Potter's not one of these Mason Mount stands, and starts protecting him like these fans are probably force feeding him to do. Because the worst thing Potter can do is extend Mason Mount's contract. You extend Mason Mount's contract, we extend Chelsea's failure. The day he leaves is the day we succeed and we come back to a football club. Because since Frank Lampard, have we improved since Frank Lampard stepped on this pitch and brought in players like Mason Mount? No, he has.
No,
Mason
we've
Mount hasn't improved
declined.
since Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard had an average season, right? Average at best season, but since then he's declined so much. So and I would send him to fucking Everton. He can go play for his fucking daddy. You can go play for Fat Frank. So I will get rid of him ASAP. But let's just quickly catch up. I said Playing our wingers as wingbacks does not work 100%. Beato Rico has no defensive cover playing Pulisic. And that's I said this last season. I said you cannot play attackers as wingbacks. They don't have the defensive mindset. They don't have the defensive mindset to track back. They don't have the defensive qualities to defend. Maybe they can attack, but they can't defend. That's how we conceded 4 goals
Hmm.
because our wingbacks
You
are our wingers are wingers.
you can only do it if you're playing a back five. If one of your wing backs is like a winger who loves to
Yeah,
hug the touchline and put in crosses, and the other one's a left back or a full back, and that's fine. You can get away with it. Like Conte does it when he puts Moses at right wing back and Alonso at left wing back. When Potter
yeah,
was at Brighton, funny enough, and Cucurella played left centre back, Lamptey was playing right wing back, and left wing back was Trossard, who's a
yeah.
forward, a winger. That way, when Trossard pushes up and drifts inside, Cucurella can actually push out and play up and hug that touchline, and then you're playing
Mhm.
like a makeshift back two. Like, why not
I
do
mean,
that? But in this instance, we're not doing. He's playing two wing back or two wingers forwards. That way, when those guys push forward, we're getting exposed. And I'm watching the game. We're getting exposed, and Cucurella is trying to push out to play as a left back, and then we're playing a back two, and there's no protection, and then we're getting cut open. Like it's not working.
It doesn't. But we've seen this with Pulisic. We know he can't play wing back, and that's the problem for me with Potter. Is like, is he like does he know what the hell he's doing? Like, I understand we are in a crisis, but that's why for me, January dictates all of it. Does he go in January and get Walker Peters? Does he go in January and get options? That's for me the question we gotta wait for. I would rather play Jorginho instead of Ruben in that midfield. We really missed him. There was no control. Yeah, there wasn't. People complain about Jorginho, but he is a good player. He's a great player. He's declining because he's getting old. He's playing on painkillers all the time, but he's still a great player. No expectations are some Newcastle games. We're getting cooked. Be up to my beast. Be up to you. We really need to fix the midfield. Matty, question for Prime. Is Johnny's Chelsea version of Ty because he blames brown envelopes and for Chelsea losers and refs? Let's see you, Prime.
Um, no, Johnny's worse. Johnny, like at least with Ty, like we can laugh because he's funny, right? Like
Yeah.
Johnny's vile and toxic to our fan base.
He's dug the hole so deep he can't come back up. And by saying Eden Hazard was a stat patter, that's embarrassing. Just a prop Mickey Mouse. Like Mickey Mouse doesn't know you, mate. He doesn't know you. Kepa doesn't know me. I'm not gonna go out of my way to disrespect someone like Czech to prop Kepa. I would never do that. Like it's just embarrassing. Ty's a positive. I understand Johnny. He's got good intentions. He loves the club, but he's not doing it in the right manner. He needs to respect the club. He needs to be honest with the club. You got to be honest with your players. If you're lying about Mason Mount just to get your agenda right, that's embarrassing. We're losing 4-5-0, and you're like, oh, Mason Mount had a good game today. If you don't like Mason Mount, you're not a proper fan or something. That's the problem we have with Johnny. And Johnny, has changed his style of format to where now he doesn't go on streams where people challenge his opinions. So you never see him come on. He just speaks on his little videos and posts it to Twitter and goes, oh, let's have it right. These brown envelopes this new word he made. And honestly, the people who follow him are probably as same as him. Like they're horrible. They prop Mason Mount to an expectation where they're not honest. You got to be honest with the players. And as an honest fan, we can sit and say Mason Mount is average. He's on the same level as Jared Bowen. If the guy can barely make the England squad, shouldn't he be as a generational player? Shouldn't he already be the first name in the English squad? No, he barely makes it. He's like the last name on that list. James Maddison should be in the squad, not Mount. So
I don't even like. Yes, whatever. Like it is what it is, man. Listen, Chelsea fans, it's gonna get worse this season, so just relax. Don't try not to get try not to get too.
the expectations too high. That's the thing. Don't put your expectations too high. Don't. I don't. That's why for me, I say if I ever stop watching football because of Mason Mount, because Mason Mount's double standards in this football club will just kill the game. Like if for me, if Mason Mount gets an extension, I don't see a progression in Chelsea Football Club. I don't see Chelsea Football Club progressing than it was a couple of, back in as we were in 2013, 2010. I don't see it because Mason Mount is the disease to this club. Not because of what he puts on that pitch, because what he does on that pitch is horrible, but also what he does off that pitch. Giving this guy a banner, I'm not a Magical fan, but giving him a banner, for doing nothing when there's people like Reece James, Thiago Silva, Kovacic, Jorginho winning trophies for our club, and people loving the club. All Mason Mount cares about is his TikTok career. He doesn't give two fucking shits about this club, right? Get out of your head. This guy is West Ham level. He's the English Willian. We need to have standards. And I said I want him to prove me wrong, but it's been 2 years and he hasn't proved me wrong. So when is it
Chelsea
time up?
fans disrespect. I was the only one, or one of the few anyway, that actually had respect for Willian. Chelsea fans disrespected Willian.
I
Willian in
love
this
Willian. I
team.
love his hair.
People talk about how under Frank, Willian was, or Matt was our best player. Like, Willian did a carry job for Matt. Like, I don't, whatever. I'm tired. I don't care, guys. Like, hey, give me another club to support or something, or give me another sport to watch. I'm done. I don't care.
I've got Andrew here. We have Andrew, mate. I want to hear. What do you have to say, mate? You're on mute, I think.
Oh, no.
No, he's not. Oh, no, you're good. You're just not talking.
I know. I'm just came to realization this weekend. I'm not going to let these players win. I'm not going to let them affect me anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They don't deserve the loyalty of these fans. Well, you know what I'm talking about. They don't deserve me to spend time worrying about them, something like that. They just don't. They haven't earned it. So until I'll watch out for the results. I'll support them. But you know what? I'm not going to get bent out of shape because I think we'll lose the next 2 league games, and I don't think we'll get bent out. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about it because let me set realistic expectations of this squad. It's not good enough. So why should I expect it? I shouldn't expect it to do anything. So if it loses, when I know it's not good enough, why should I get angry about it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This fan base, a big portion of this fan base, has chosen to embrace average players and mediocrity. That's what they've chosen to do. So you know what? You deserve this. If you are a player Stan, have a player Avi, and your at is a player name, then you deserve this. Yeah? You deserve this. No. You don't have backing a player is one thing, right? But not putting the club above the player and worrying about how the player's feeling first is a disease. It's a cancer. The worst thing to happen to this club, one of the worst things to happen to this club, are player stands and hives, winning the Champions League 2021. Not what it did to gloss over everything, and the transfer ban in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Three
of the worst things to ever happen to this club in its history, because it allowed mediocrity and acceptance of average players and to be spanked 4-1 by Brighton for this club is an outrage. We should have marched to Cobham. You know what I mean? That's what it should have done. But no, it's okay. It's okay. We're building something. And this is, by the way, I'm not against Potter at all. Okay, this is not on Potter at all. Okay, because these players, you can say, oh, you picked the wrong formation, fine, but these players should have enough pride to do their job. We normal people, when we are asked to do something in a job that maybe we haven't done before, we will do it because we have to. We don't have 400 grand a week to fall back on. Do you know what I mean? These guys walk around like they're owed something just because they won the Champions League in 2021. So what? Everyone forgets that season. We needed Spurs to beat Leicester to qualify for the Champions League. If we didn't win that European Cup, these guys are a disgrace, man. They're a disgrace. But you know what? I've accepted they're a disgrace, yeah, because they've accepted it themselves. They're just horrible, man. And the fans that back them, who go, oh yeah, let's wait for 23 and 24-year-olds to develop. They should have developed by now. They should see a development by now. These players should have 1 or 2 outstanding attributes. They don't have that.
You.
I'm still waiting for it. I'm being told, oh wait 2 or 3 years. So when they're 24, 25, 26. They've been playing for 8-9 years professionally. What are you talking about? Please, and then blaming like new players that have come in. What do you expect? You're setting a new house on rotting foundations. that are already there. So what's the point? What's the point? You can blame new players all you want, but I'm sorry, it's just not worth my time and hassle to get upset about it, and because you know what, I should have expected this. Maybe I was thinking, okay, I still think Tuchel would have got sacked and was a problem, but obviously we all know it's these players underneath, right? So this is the third manager they're on, yeah, and all this I'm hearing like, oh yeah, but what do you expect? They've had 3 or 4 managers. Didn't John Terry, Didier Drogba, Lampard, Ashley Cole, Peter Cech have like 4 or 5 different managers? Never stopped their mentality going down. Might have lost might not have won all the titles. That's fine, but I can't remember them being spanked regularly 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5-0, something during the season. But it's accepted now in the fan base as well. And you're right. And it's a little petty. It might sound petty, but giving someone a banner, and it doesn't even matter if it's Mason Mount, if it was any of these players, yeah, even Reece James, who I love, you've not earned a banner. You've not earned a banner. I'm sorry, you've not earned it. I need 4 or 5 years of consistent, brilliant performances for you to have even a banner. It's just the acceptance of averageness is a disgrace. When did we turn into Arsenal and Spurs? What is this?
When Mason Mount walked in this football club.
Bro, Andrew, I've been saying for two, like since Lampard got the job, I've been saying I don't want to be like Arsenal.
We're sliding. We're being like them. We're being like them.
I'm accepting doing player stands and player prop when you haven't done anything. Like when it's annoying because everything I'm saying right is. I've been fed up with the players for time, so it is what it is. But it's the fan base. Where are your stand? The slander the likes of John Obi Mikel and Malouda and Kalou got, Morales. The slander these guys got. These guys would be our best players right now.
And for me, it's like but Prime, that's the point. It's like our standards have dropped to a level where we're giving prop just for making a 2-meter pass. Like people were still respecting Loftus-Cheek in 2022. It's like the guy's just making 2-3 passes, and why should I respect these players and wake up at 4 a.m. and I was in DMs out there. Oh, why don't you wake up the other? I'm like, why would I wake up at 4 a.m. to watch a team that doesn't respect me? Like we're 3-0 down against Brighton, and what are we doing? We're walking, we're yawning, and you see Brighton bang 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 bang. And that's the difference between a team who wants to win and a team who's just there for the money. And I say, get out of your head, Mason Mount fans, because the guy doesn't know you. The guy doesn't love the club. The guy loves himself. And he's just there for that paycheck. And you give him that extension. Mason Mount is the disease to this club. You give him the extension, the variants will come. And the disease will get worse. You bring players like Rice. It's going to get worse.
What was really startling on Saturday, right? So 3-0 down at half-time. We had possibly a great start to second half scoring that goal, right? But then we didn't do anything. We had no momentum. We should have had the momentum. We didn't do anything. We scored.
They conceded again. Like we scored and they conceded again.
We scored very early in that second half, right? So it should go. Oh, we got the momentum. We scored really early. Now we've done the job. Let's get the second one. Nothing. No. That's why I said these guys are mentally weak cowards. They love being a cup team. You know why they love being a cup team? No pressure. There's no pressure on cups. No losing points or anything like that. They get through. It's a good day at the office. Get to the final, blah, blah, blah. But league form has been shit since 17-18 season. Has been shit. Yeah. It's a disgrace that we scrape over 70 points. And we didn't even do that for 2 or 3 seasons. We got 66.
What did we get last season? 71? What did we get last season? 71?
I don't know. It was 70 something. But what I mean is we just barely scraped over. How many? We needed the second to last game to even claim top 3 when we could have claimed it 6 weeks previous because we had like 10 or 12 points ahead.
Was it 2 seasons ago?
No, last season. We had third. We were third wrapped up. Arsenal and Spurs were double-digit points behind us. And we didn't play that well, and it got down to single-digit.
And the same thing happened. It happened last season. It happened the season beforehand when Tuchel came in. It happened in Lampard's full season. It happened under Sarri as well, where we only secured top 4 in the final few games when we should have secured it a month or 2 beforehand.
We're winning.
We weren't messing up in points.
We're barely winning half our home league games in the last 3 or 4 years. When we have the best home record in Premier League history. Undefeated in over 4 years, yeah? Yeah? We have that. That's ours.
Yep.
It's a disgrace that we barely get to double. Last year we did, I thought, what, 8 or 9? Was it 8 or 9 home wins or something like that? That's
Rubbish.
disgrace.
We came to home games
Hey.
not even looking for a win sometimes. You look at
No.
Arsenal, Liverpool, they look for wins. Oh, it's home game. We got the home advantage. We don't have home advantage.
We lost 4-1 to Brentford. We lost 4-1 to Brentford. We weren't even down to 10 men, so you can't even have that excuse. We lost 4-1 to Brentford. We got spanked 5-2 by West Brom. Season before that. I know we went down to 10 men, but you should lose 5-2 to West Brom. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Weak. Any adversity they get, this squad, they fold in the league. Leeds away, you get a definite goalkeeper mistake, but they wilted. Another goal went in afterwards. Southampton, they equalised. I think did they equalise? Yeah, no, we equalised, I think. But then they scored early in the second half.
Equalise?
Or did they equalise? They equalised. Then they took
remember.
lead in the
No, I
second
think
half.
I don't remember. I don't.
But
Man, I didn't look that
wilted.
far back.
They wilted. And look at Leicester. There, Leicester had to go down to 10 men. We had to go down. We had to go down 10 men against Leicester for us to get up for that game.
Yeah.
West Ham. Kai Havertz scored. Kai Havertz scores and then shushes us. Are you having a joke, bro? Are you having a joke?
Oh god, I can't.
So that's what I mean. So don't. I know I'm saying it right now, but I'm not letting these guys do it anymore. Yeah, they've got to earn it now. You know what I mean? Oh, bigging up people after one game. How about 10 games minimum? How about doing it 10 games minimum?
Give me a season, man. Like as Mount Havertz Pulisic has given us a season, I can't see it. They haven't.
Exactly. I know.
And for people to,
you should know what I can do. Well, tell us, because no one knows what you can do. Yeah, apart from
he should us.
Yeah,
he should us after one goal.
Did you see that miss? Remember, he scored at the weekend. But did you see that miss in the second half?
Oh,
he over the ball, right in front of the goalie. Right in front of the goalie.
He doesn't.
Let me say this, Chelsea fans. Any Chelsea fan that is so angry about Lukaku for the documentary stuff, do you know who to blame for that? Kai Havertz. Him not scoring enough goals meant we had to go and buy Lukaku for 100 mil. Blame him. I'm actually serious. It's his fault.
He's not a striker.
But he is a striker. He's came out and said that he is. So we can't use that excuse of striker is not his best position. He's came out and said it.
It's embarrassing. And honestly, if he's not a striker, you're a cam. Go to a team that fucking plays with the cam. We don't play with the cams. We've done
or if he's a cam, or create. If you're a 10, so you're not a striker, you're a 10. Create more chances then for us. Why is your chance creation not high? Create chances.
He's 20.
Hazard. If Hazard was playing up front for us, I'd still expect him to create chances, even if he's not scoring goals. Like create chances. Do something. Something.
Listen to that. So Mason Mount can do everything. Let's see. Can he pass 5 yards in front of him when Havertz just had it on his left? That's what he needs to do. Can't do that, right? And what else did he do? Oh, I know. Off the ball creation.
He runs.
Off the ball creation. So you mean run? You mean run? That's what you mean. Off the shoulder movement.
I was listening to that.
People are making stuff up, and then I heard that fraud try and say that Hazard. Like when someone said, about Mount stat padding last season, 29 GNA. Yeah. By the way, you want real GNA? Try one matter 12, 13, 53 GNA. You try doing that. I mean, and against big clubs and in important games. But you don't. Someone said to him, he stat padded last season. He went, well, Eden Hazard, sorry, 1890 stat padded. What?
That's embarrassing.
How dare you? How dare you compare him to Eden Hazard? How fucking dare you? Sorry, how dare you say that? That's a problem. It's not just him, it's others making up stats or making up things to, this player didn't do this or this player didn't do that. How about you focus on that player? Mason Mount is an ultimate purple patch player. An ultimate purple patch player. He does nothing for 8 or 9 games, then has a 3 or 4 game run. Everyone bigs him up. And then look at these last 3. I say 3? Last 2, because Salzburg only played for 3 or 4 minutes. So that's not fair. Let's say the 2 games, then nothing. Nothing.
When we need him, he's not there. We'll be 2-3-0 up, he'll shine. But when we
Yeah.
need him, I said when we need him for these big games, he doesn't show up. We lost 2 finals because of him. Shouldn't that be enough? And it's just a deflection he gets. Oh, but he assisted Havertz in the final. Oh, but he's proper Chelsea runs. Running is the bare minimum. Putting 100% is the bare minimum. You earn 300k to run. You put 300k to put your body on the line. That's what you're meant to do. The next part is to score some goals to show why you're on this team. He has not proved him to be in this team. If this guy was named Mason McIlnan, he's from Scotland, he wouldn't be in this team. I'm telling you, it's because he's English,
Bro,
because
he's
he's from
not.
Cobham.
So two
He's
things, right?
proper.
Two
Proper-
things. So now, if now people are bigging up running, shall we now put in running clauses in our new contracts? They have to run this amount in a game to earn it. And I'll keep asking this question. I will ask this question. I know I'll probably ask people multiple times. If you're a Chelsea fan, look at most of these players. If they were at any other club, would you want Chelsea to sign them?
No.
So
No.
why should we have to settle and be patient with them? Why do we have to do that?
24 years old, man. And there's no patience for what? Like,
There's no
Andrew.
This development thing is rubbish as well, right? In 23, 24, I should see something right now. Go on, sorry, bro.
Yeah, because everyone says if you're old enough, you're good enough. So by that logic, these players should be good enough regardless of the fugazi age. Like, well, yeah, you were talking about when you were talking about or not you, when that guy was talking about the off the ball movement and off the ball chance creation. Is that not basically what people said about Timo Werner? His running, his movement created chances.
yes.
Yeah.
Like the Champions League final goal. Without Werner's run, he doesn't take that guy away for Havertz to run in. That's what
Yeah.
people said. Like
Yeah.
that's what you say for a shit player.
Yeah.
Dan James, his running. Andros Townsend, his running. That's what we talk about. Aaron Lennon, his running. That's what we talk about shit players.
Yeah, exactly. When you say someone's two things. When you say someone's attributes and they put like movement or pressing as one of their top attributes, that's not impressive to me. That's not impressive to me. Okay, give me something they can do. And also, when I say development, I've seen Reece James develop. Okay, and I know he can get better. So don't give me this. Oh, they wait 2 or 3 years for them to develop. I've seen Reece James develop since he's come into the team. Yeah, but he needs to stop getting injured. That's the only thing I need to say about him. But I've seen him develop. Okay, I've seen as much as you say. I know Chalobah had a terrible game the other day. I've seen bits of Chalobah developing as well. Okay, and he can develop. But I can't need those two Chuckle brothers have stagnated or got worse. And or how about this? How about they not what is labelled on the tin and what is advertised? That's probably the better thing.
And just spot on there with that, they haven't improved, or have they even haven't been the same? Have they declined? I can't even tell you, because for me, you come in Frank Lampard season with the ghost as this one, Mickey Mount. He was bang average, right? But come the 2020, 2021, he's got even worse. We're coming to a point where he plays one game and we're hyping him up for it. And that's what, as I said, I don't know if you saw Andreas in the terrace. I said there's double standards. There's double standards in this football club. And
Yeah.
I said, if he wasn't English, we'll be calling it out. And there's heaps of double standards. And when you see a manager coming out and calling the players out, especially the attack, what happened to that manager? Thomas Tuchel. He got criticized by the board, and look where he ended up. Was that a part of it? When a player has done absolutely nothing but run, and the fans prop him for doing nothing, and you see the fans like me. I was getting after that terrace match, I was getting hate messages from me. Oh, you're not proper Charles. Mason Mount's the glue to our team. It's like that's double standard, and that's honestly, we could look at it as a political group, and they're too far Mason Mount. They're too far.
Yeah.
And what happens when people say they're too far right or far left? They're delusional, and then you're too far Mason Mount, and you're stuck in that headspace. You're stuck in the matrix when you're just fucking looking at Mason Mount and propping him for every little thing he does. I'm sorry, you're absolutely lost. Like you're genuinely lost, and some people need to be woken up from the matrix.
The new thing now, and I know I've heard it before, but it's ramping up. Bet these players you support this club. It's like, no. I'll tell you why. I'm a football fan. Okay, I'm not going to back you for being, if you're not up to the standard I think you are. Yeah, I'm not going to back you. I'm going to criticize you. That's what being a real fan is. You're allowed to criticize. Once every player crosses that line, I don't want any of them to fail. I want them to. When Alonso, you know how I feel about Alonso, right? When he scored that goal that was eventually ruled offside against Real Madrid, I went mad. Same with Vernon when he scored. I went mad. Why? Because I'm a fan. I don't want this club to fail. If a player fails or not playing well, my club is failing. It's failing, as we're seeing with this crop of people right now, these players right now. But it's like, oh, back your players. You're not proper Chelsea. Proper Chelsea. The term didn't exist pre-2020, 2021. You know what I mean? Proper Chelsea. What a load of shit that is. Yeah? What a load of shit. But you know what? Anyone watching this, anyone tells you should back the players. Back the players when they actually earn it and prove it, yeah? And also, by the way, I've criticised better players than this at Chelsea. So, you know what I mean? I've criticised the greats when they haven't played well. So, don't give me that I should back these players. Why should I back these players when they don't do it? They don't back us.
Do you know why? Do you know why back your players is fugazi? These guys say back your players, but why are you criticising or hating on Havertz and Mount? You have an agenda. In the same breath, these guys will say, oh, Lukaku was a fraud. He was never good enough anyway. Why didn't you back Lukaku last season? Why didn't you back Werner? When Kepa played bad, why didn't you back him? Why haven't you backed Jorginho? Why haven't you backed our player? Back our players, right? Let's back everyone. Like, for me, there are players in this team I don't like. Like, you guys know I don't. Andrew, you know I don't rate Chalobah. But he's been performing this season. And I've had to say, you've been playing well. You're one of our best players. I want you to continue to play well. Because, like you said, it benefits my team.
Yeah.
I don't have this weird thing where you perform like Chalobah played badly, or not. I don't necessarily even badly, but he was responsible for their own goal.
Yeah.
I didn't go and start tweeting saying, "Oh, hold that, Chalobah stands. See, I told you he's not good enough." No, because we lost 4-1. That doesn't help me.
Yeah.
Losing doesn't help me.
And everyone knows how I feel about Kepa. I don't want Kepa to fail. He's in goal. He's my goalie. But what? Do you think people? I think people actually think that if you don't back a player, you're secretly wanting them to mess up. Like, I think people might think, oh, I want Kepa. We win, but I want Kepa to mess up. No, I don't want Kepa to mess up. Why would I want Kepa to mess up? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
Like the other day when we were, I don't think any of you guys were on the Lewis stream for the Salzburg game, but Kai scored, right? The views went up. Why do you think they went up? Because they were hoping that we had sad faces when Kai scored. They were wrong, weren't they? Because we were cheering our heads off that Kai scored. Because we're fans. We're fans.
Andrew, the next day after that Salzburg game, people were ringing my phone on Instagram because they wanted me to speak on Kai Havertz. Like, what? Again, look, listen. I may not like you or rate you as a player, but like, perform well for me. And again, another example of this, Andrew Mendy. You know how I was on his neck when he first signed?
Yeah.
Right? When he started performing well and was performing highly, I backed this guy fully. I remember going on streams and stuff like that and saying that this guy's world class. He's better than Alisson. If you perform well for me, I'll be so shameless and back you against anybody. But if you don't perform well, I don't care. I liked Werner on a personal level, but even I said this guy has to go. He's not playing well. And the same it goes for everyone else. I like Jorginho, but you're not playing well. You have to go.
That's it now. And
what?
The second thing, I know Matt. I know what Matt feels about Mendy doesn't rain, but I know when he came on Saturday, Matt's not thinking, I hope Mendy concedes another 2 goals or 3 goals or something. I know Matt's not thinking that. Like,
I literally said it wasn't his fault for that goal. I was actually hoping he could revive.
That's what I mean, but you're not. When he came on, you might be disappointed Kepa's off because he's injured or something, but you're not going secretly, I hope Mendy concedes 2 or 3 goals. What's the point? But now, you see what it is? People say back your players, right? If you go against like any of their favourites, right? The new thing now I'm finding is, yeah, but what do you expect them to do when they got Jorginho in midfield? It's like,
when you back the players that the fans don't like, that's when you get criticised. That's how it works.
Exactly. Like Andrew, what do you expect Eden Hazard to do when he has Alonso at left back? What do you expect Hazard to do?
Yeah.
We didn't have that excuse for Hazard. He still turned up.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Honestly, I think comparing him to Mason Mount, that just blew up for me. I think on Gem's stream yesterday, that ended our fan base, and because he has minions who listen to him, that just spreads and the disease there. It's like the virus, We need a vaccine for it. I don't think we need a vaccine for this COVID virus. We need a vaccine for this Mason Mount fan because it's
just
getting
need
out of hand.
We could put them all in a rocket and blast them into the sun. I'd like that. That's what I like. And that's just
And I'm telling
somewhere
you,
for-
Rice joining will make it even worse. That's what I don't want Rice because.
by the way, listen. I think now I don't diss him as a player, and he's a good player. But I think now you've got to accept the inevitability that he's joining. I think he's joining Rice's. I think you have to accept the inevitability he's joining. You may not like it.
I just think there's better options. That's my thing.
No.
I think there's way better
I
options.
think there could be, but I think they're still going to try and sign him. That's what I think they're still going to try and do. I think they're still going to try and sign him. It would be funny if when we signed him, then somehow Mount left.
That would be I actually wouldn't mind that. Actually, I wouldn't mind that.
But Andrew, the thing is, I don't want players that are polarizing because for me, I like having, even though I may like troll and stuff, right? I like having a fair assessment on players. Like, for example, the way Sterling's been performing. Like, and you guys, and Andrew, I didn't want to just sign Sterling in this forward line because I knew the players he'd have to play with. But the fact that Chelsea fans are saying he's not playing well and he's a flop, but there's no context to the fact of he's playing out of position. Like, for me, I would like to have an accurate assessment and an accurate critique of Sterling, but I can't even say that because then I'll be put into the category of people who are saying he's terrible and needs to go. I don't want. I can't. I now have to overprotect him and be like, none of this is his fault because he's playing out of position. But no one's smart enough. A lot of these fans aren't smart enough to realize that he's playing wing back. But when Cho was playing wing back last season and the season beforehand under Tuchel, it was Tuchel's a terrorist. Tuchel banned. Tuchel doesn't rate Cho. Tuchel's a racist. But Potter's playing him out of position, but it's Sterling's fault.
So, what was totally inaccurate on Saturday was, listen, I thought his dribbling was terrible. Sterling's dribbling, I thought it was terrible on Saturday. But when he crossed it and I passed it, he actually created 2 chances on Saturday, which is what people forget. They don't mention that. They don't mention it at all, right? They forget. They just go, "Oh yeah, but he's done this and that." It's like, dude, let me ask you. Let me listen. We have not listened. Sterling did very. Whatever you say, whether you say Sterling's assistant player at City or not, he still had to finish those chances, right? But we don't have a Kevin De Bruyne. We don't have a Bernardo Silva, a Mahrez, something like that. Do you know what I mean? We don't have that. We don't have a Rodri. We don't have those players. We don't.
Yes,
have
we do. We have Mason Mount.
That's true. We don't have a Cancelo at the moment because Cucurella has been forced to play left centre. That's another one who's getting ripped to shreds in this Chelsea fan base, which is ridiculous. He's coming back off an illness. He probably even shouldn't be playing the minutes he is, but because we've only got 2 fit central defenders, he's having to play left centre back. But it's like ripping these guys apart, and then you go, yeah, but what about blah blah blah? Oh yeah, well, they're they're playing out of position, or yeah, but he's having to play with this guy, and it's like, bro, I'm not even going to engage with you. There's no point. There's no point because you waste energy.
Yeah.
I'd advise people this: not waste energy. Put your energy into things that are worth it. Arguing with these idiots are not worth it.
It's not
you know what I mean?
Anywhere.
You never win an argument with an idiot. Do you know why? You have to go down to their level. So you never win. You never win. There's no point. And I know people will disagree with me, and that's fine. But I don't care. If you disagree with me, I don't care. Engage me on something or don't. That's why I've gone on a mega muting spree on Twitter at the moment. A mega muting spree. I just can't be bothered. You know what I mean? I'll interact with people I want to interact. So
I don't blame you. It's out of hand. I'm telling you, that's what I said. And Prime is right. We bring someone like Rice in, it's gonna stuff us up more. But hopefully we look on the good side. Maybe in Kuku and these players can fix it. Because we think about it. We only have 4 games left until a transfer window is actually open. So we can make. And I want Bowie to spend that money in January. I would rather even spend money in January than August.
Who's our first game in January?
Is it Liverpool?
No,
City.
Man City. Yeah.
City. Well, we're January 1st, yeah? Like second?
It's either the second last game or last game is City away as well. So
Again,
imagine if they're going for the title or something like that.
Or we're going for 8th or we're going for 8th or we're going for the title.
I think someone said it in the chat. Listen, I'm sorry, man. Unless it's top 4, I don't want 5, 6, or 7th, and I don't want to win one of these cups. Unless it's European Cup, I don't want it. I've done the Europa League. It's trash.
We've been there, done that.
I've seen Flawless and Sarcasm City and those guys try and get through a group game with Europa League. It's just on the watch along. It's just
because Andrew, you know what will happen? Like, we'll end up in European Conference and we'll easily win it, and our fans will get gassed again, and these players will get protected.
You know what they say? They'll go, "Oh, now we've won everything."
Now on the Conference League, we won everything.
Obviously, yeah. We've won everything.
Okay.
No,
Mason Mount has won 2 European trophies in 3 seasons.
Yeah. Wednesday doesn't even. I'm not even bothered about Wednesday because it's all done and dusted. It's like it doesn't mean anything, even if we win. So what? I mean, because I tell you this right now, I don't know if I'm going to set my alarm for Sunday. Is that 12 midday?
7 a.m.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up when I want to get up. I'm just not. And also the Saturday after we play Newcastle, even with our best teams, our record at Newcastle is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. It's like Everton away. It's very weird. Don't know why that is.
Let's hope.
We went up there with our best and got beat. This lot? Are you mad? They're going to get absolutely violated up there. Violated.
So not, man.
Oh, and I've got to do... This week for me is going to be unbearable. Well, this next 2 weeks, I've got to do like previews and stuff for Arsenal game, and I've got to deal with the consequences of us losing.
By the way,
especially me, who Arsenal fans actually hate.
I don't interact with rivals anymore.
Think about this: with the players that are available, you will struggle to put a Chelsea player in a combined 11 at the moment. You're going to struggle.
The only one I can do is Thiago Silva.
That is even fit.
Even on last 2 performances, Brighton and Salzburg, he's been crap. He's been crap.
Fuck. That is true. I was on Big Six Spans yesterday, right? And I don't know, for some weird reason, these guys have only watched our last 2 games, and they were trying to. When I was saying Thiago Silva he's the best center back in the world, these guys were trying to act as if he's a bum. I was like, what? Like, this is what you guys are doing to me. Thiago Silva, who's a generational center back, you guys are making him look like a fool. Like, yeah, you're right. I can't go into combined 11. I can't have chest in this. That's why I wanted Arsenal to lose yesterday. I wanted some sort of, ammunition, but I don't have anything.
I want 5-0, man.
Matty, I wouldn't even stay up or wake up to watch Wednesday's match for you.
I'm not watching this game. It says 7 a.m. If I'm up, I'm up. If I'm up, I'm up. There's no way. Like, it's one, and then Arsenal's, I think, 11 p.m. So I'll watch that one because that's
I'm enjoying my football. I'm going to watch Napoli. That's what I'm going to watch. Napoli. You know what I mean? I watch Napoli.
Right, they're playing beautiful football.
Exactly. They're playing, you know what? It's great because
Georgian guy.
My Lakers are crap, so I've gone on loan to the Pelicans for this NBA season. Who are playing well. The Ravens are just hanging in the NFL. I'm that close to just ditching them for the season. And Chelsea, my sporting teams put me in hell, man.
You got to take a break from sport in general, not just football, man.
I can't wait to the World Cup. I don't care. I don't want England to win. I'm not an England fan. I'm backing South Korea. That's what
I can't wait for this World Cup, man. I just need to stop watching Chelsea just for the mental health, It's just it's not good, man. Honestly, and that's why I'm saying, come January, if we don't make any progress, we will make it hard to make it fucking top 4 because, as I said, Prime. I don't think we're gonna easily get top 4. Prime. I think Prime is very confident on it. I don't know, man. I said yesterday, have hope. I was confident, but I wake up today and now it's a different day. But
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? This team, whenever it's in chaos, this club just somehow does something. It's very weird. It just pulls the rabbit out of the hat or something like that. It just does it. It's very weird. And for me, that would be finishing top 4, not winning anything. Yep. That would be finishing top 4. That'd be like the 4th on the last day when 4 teams are going for that last spot, and somehow some shithousery thing happens and we end up winning. We end up getting that 4th spot, but we don't win the game that we need to win. Because the others lose or something like that.
Yeah, because Tottenham will lose or something like usual.
Yeah. We get lost.
Happened to us last season.
Somewhere and get it by a point or a goal or something like that. That's happened. But January window, I told you this. Don't mess about in January. Announce the deals before the January window. Announce the deals in the first 2 days, first week of the January window, and that's it done. I don't want to be rushing around 31st of January. Doesn't
January
help.
7th, I want everyone here. I want 4 players. January 5th, get everyone here. You know,
Bingo.
you have the weekend, get it there in Cuckoo, man. Get these players. But yeah, man, I guess it's been in 2.5 hours. Been in for quite a while. We're going to end it on that. Mason Mount is a disease. These players are the real disease. I read out before, guys, the list on why these players need to leave. I don't think it's a managerial problem. We have Graham Potter here. You know, he's a good manager, but I don't think he's the man to fix it if he doesn't get rid of these players. If he keeps these players, he gives Mount an extension. He gives, Havertz an extension. These guys are the problem. Get rid of them. The day we get rid of Mason Mount is the day we come back from the trenches. So let's hope something happens there. But be up to Prime Andrew for tuning in. And you joined a bit late. Prime joined about an hour ago. Be up to everyone in the chat. It was a last minute stream. A lot of you guys joined in, so be up to you. Probably live before the Arsenal game for that one, for probably on Friday. But yeah, I'll catch you guys there. Be up to everyone. Catch you next one. Peace out.
Subscribe.